Somehow someone got way up in the air and put a Phillies baseball cap atop the statue of William Penn in downtown Philadelphia. But the Phillies are in Atlanta in the baseball playoffs. You'll see that later tonight on CBS. And right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are the host team in Veterans Stadium. They take on the Chicago Bears today. Philadelphia comes in with a 4-0 record against a 2-2 Chicago team. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Verne Lundquist along with Dan Fouts. The Eagles, one of only 2 undefeated teams left in the National Football League. The New Orleans Saints are the other. But despite coming into this game with a 4-0 record, they have lost Randall Cunningham, Dan, for the second time in the last 3 years.
And the message that head coach Richie Kotite has given Bubby Brister is you don't have to be Superman today. Just play within the system. And this is a good system. It relies heavily on the running attack. And today, Keith Sherman is injured. He will not play. So James Joseph will get the start. But we'll also see a lot of Herschel Walker and Von Hebron.
The Chicago Bears come in, as we said, with a 2-2 mark. They lost their first 2. They have won their last 2, but most recently only a 6-0 score over the Atlanta Falcons. They rather obviously have some offensive concerns.
Well, they don't get any big plays. Head coach Dave Wanstead told us yesterday that he needs to make some more big plays, or any big plays at all. And Keith Jennings will start at tight end, so that will help Neil Anderson get wide and get to the outside. But it's rookie #1 draft pick Curtis Conway, who is now 100% healthy. He'll play half the time, and he should provide the big plays for the Bears.
Curtis Conway and the Chicago Bears have won the toss on a cold day. It was in the 70s yesterday. A cold front blew through early this morning. The skies have cleared, but it's 48 degrees with winds gusting up around 25 miles per hour. Here is Matt Barr to kick off. And this will be taken short by Robert Green, number 22. And he's down. Excellent special teams effort. Ken Rose leading the way, number 55. And it'll be first down, 10 Chicago at the 20. Jim Harbaugh comes on. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He has not had a lot of time to throw the ball because this offensive front has been a problem. Leuenberg at left tackle, Mark Borch at left guard, Fontenot the center, Vernon Smith and John Wojciechowski start on the right side. Anderson and Hayward in the backfield. Wendell Davis and Tom Waddle out wide. And Keith Jennings, fresh from an injury recovery, opens at tight end. Harbaugh with a 5-step drop, flips it out in the flat for Anderson. And he is tackled by Seth Joyner after a 1-yard gain. Joyner, of course, is the stalwart of a suddenly revamped Eagle defense because of all the defections due to free agency. Simmons, Nichols, Millard, Andy Harmon starts for Tim Harris at left end. Harris with elbow surgery out for 8 weeks. Thomas, Evans, and Joyner are the linebackers. And the secondary has been a problem. Allen and Miano, Hopkins, and Mark McMillan. Allen, of course, had that brilliant 94-yard interception return for the touchdown last week that cinched the victory over the Jets. Here's Harbaugh. 2nd and 10, incomplete. Mark McMillan over the back of Tom Waddle to knock it away, and Waddle was looking for an interference call and did not get it.
We talked to Wanstead about his offense. He wants to open it up a little bit more, and we're seeing already 2 straight passes from Harbaugh, but both of them have been to the right side. And you might wonder why. Well, on the left side of the Bear offense, they're going against Eric Allen, and as you mentioned, Verne, he is playing outstanding defense and probably the best corner in football right now.
Curtis Conway is in now at wide receiver. There's a waggle by Harbaugh. He throws it left side, and that's caught by Waddle. A gain of 12 and a first down at the 32-yard line.
Talked about the problems the Bears have had protecting the quarterback. One way to avoid a good pass rush is to roll out. And what it does is it buys time for the receivers to work down the field. Waddle is the inside receiver, and he's going to go down to the outside. Nice combination route there with Davis as that forces McMillan to go inside. He falls down, and the Bears pick up a first down, something they've had trouble doing all year long on 3rd down situations.
Waddle came in with 14 catches, make it 15 now. Jennings in motion, comes back to the right side. Harbaugh, draw play. And this is Neil Anderson, who's run well the last couple of weeks. Gets it out near the 35. Gerald Nichols, number 74, makes the tackle.
I really think that the addition of Keith Jennings at the tight end should help Anderson and the Bear offense today, because Jennings, he's like a tackle playing tight end, 265 pounds or so. And what he'll do is give Anderson the chance to use that speed and get wide.
We're also going to have a look at Chris Gedney, another tight end who will be used in passing situations more so than Jennings. Third-round draft pick who's healthy. Here's play action, and they're going to try and take a chance. Clyde Simmons lets Harbaugh go, and there's Wendell Davis open at the 50-yard line. Simmons drew a beat on Harbaugh, missed him, and that play is good for a gain of 15. Eric Allen with the tackle.
Yeah, Simmons only has 2 sacks on the year. Both of those came against the Redskins, and the Eagles feel that they need for him to really have a big day today, because they have had trouble getting sacks. Only 4 in 4 games. That's really unusual for an Eagle football team. Not
only unusual, it's low in the league. And this is a team that, of course, was so prominent in that area of defense over recent years. 1st and 10 at the 50. Anderson, he gets nothing. May have lost a half yard. Byron Evans, number 56, makes the tackle.
Well, the one thing the Bears have done all year is they've tried to run the ball up in the middle, because they've been playing with Dante Whitaker, a 4-year guy. But with Jennings at tight end, these runs now may start up in the middle, but now they'll go to the outside, because he can come down and seal the defensive end in. Of course, you can always flip it over and run it wide to the left, as Anderson does probably better than anybody else in the league.
Hayward, the fullback. Play action. Harbaugh going deep right side for Wendell Davis on McMillan, and he makes the grab out of bounds. They will try and pick on McMillan, who's only 5'7", most of the afternoon, because the option is Eric Allen on the other side.
Wendell Davis isn't all that much bigger, but he goes about 6 feet. I think they're both lying about their height, so McMillan is about 5'5" or 6", and I think Wendell Davis is just about 5'10". That ball drifted out of bounds on Harbaugh. Very, very windy today here at the Vet.
3rd and 10. No score. Opening drive of the ball game. That's Anderson out of the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Harbaugh gets protection, flips it out, but the catch is made, and then the tackle is made by Eric Allen. Waddle tried to get up a load of steam, but Allen was there to put the stop to it.
That's the big thing about the Bears pass offense, is when they catch the ball, their receivers don't make any yardage after the catch. As soon as Waddle made that catch, Allen was right on his back and dropped him.
Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator of the Bears, said last night, we get 0 yards after the catch. Big problem. Here's Gardocki back to punt. Nice and high. Fair catch called by Vi Sikahima, and he grabs it at the 17-yard line. So the Bears drive from their own 20 out to midfield, but they're forced to punt it away. Philadelphia's Bobby Brister will be in the cockpit when we come back.
The standard set by the federal government requires that a car with 2 airbags must help protect 2 passengers, ignoring the center seat passenger. The higher standard in the all-new DeVille by Cadillac, an air bank system which provides supplemental protection for not 1, not 2, but all 3 front seat passengers. The air bank system in the new V8 powered DeVille by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Imagine the high performance, the advanced engine cleaning in all 3 grades of Exxon gasoline. Rely on Exxon gasoline and turn the tiger loose.
Anyone can see that the new GE Profile Radiant Convection range is easy to clean, but the real technological advantage is what you can't see. So we'll show it to you in a roundabout way. Introducing the first GE range that circulates hot air all around your food. Roasting meats up to 30% faster, so they get done to a turn on the outside while staying tender and juicy on the inside. Why does GE offer such an ingenious way to cook? Because we know how much of life revolves around dinner.
10:51 to go, first quarter of play. Bubby Brister signed as a free agent this summer as a replacement backup to Jim McMahon. And here he is as the starter. And up front, he's got Broderick Thompson, Mike Shad, Alexander. Ron Hallstrom gets the start at right guard for an injured Brian Baldinger and Antone Davis. Walker and Joseph in the backfield. Victor Bailey starts for the injured Fred Barnett. Calvin Williams and Mark Bavaro complete the offensive 11 for Philadelphia. Eagles 4-0. They have fallen behind each of the last 3 weeks and come back to win. Here's Brister, finds Victor Bailey, the rookie draft choice out of Missouri, who is starting in place of Barnett. Richard Dent, Zorich, McMichael, and Trace Armstrong, the front four for the Bears. The linebackers, Vincent Smith, the former Cowboy, Dante Jones in the middle, and Joe Kane. And the secondary, Blaylock and Carrier, along with Sean Gale and Donnell Wolford. Second down and 2. Backs in the eye behind Bubby Brister. He hands it off to Herschel Walker, who's got a lot of room left side. Gets a downfield block from Calvin Williams and moves it to the 45. A 26-yard gain for Herschel Walker by 15 yards, his longest gain of the year.
Really excellent blocking on the left side. Watch Bavaro come out on Dent, turns him to the outside, and then there's just no pursuit there by the Bears. Good job of Walker not going out of bounds. He just drops Carrier, but the key block was right here at the point of attack as Bavaro turns out Dent, and there goes Walker.
And a first down 10 at the 46-yard line. Back split. Brister hands it off to Walker. That's 9 more to the 45 of Chicago. Richie Kotite using a trio of running backs now. Herschel a little unhappy with the lack of carries he's had, but look at this. They've had 3 with over 100 yards. Now, Heath Sherman will not play today, Dan, because of a knee injury.
And when you add it all up, what it comes down to is that the Eagles are the number 4 offense in the NFL, and they're the number 4 rushing team in the NFL. And a lot of pride in that along that offensive line when you talk to guys like Broderick Thompson and David Alexander, because they know that if one of those 3 guys were to be the main ball carrier, that he would be a 1,000-yard rusher, as they had last year when Herschel Walker went over 1,000 yards.
Just a quick injury note from the Eagles sideline. Clyde Simmons jammed a finger in the last defensive series, but he will be back.
This is a real good start for the Eagle offense, especially for Brister. Completed his first pass to the rookie Bailey, and it's got great back-to-back runs by Walker.
Second and short. Bailey to the left side, and Brister in the face of a blitz. Gets rid of it, but there was no one available to make the catch. Joe Kane, number 59, was the first man who got there as a max blitz came from the Chicago Bears.
They had to think it might have been a blitz to stop the run on just second and short, but it's a straight drop back pass, no play action at all, and just somebody blows the pass protection as Kane came in free. You see Jones as well, so it was a 3 linebacker blitz by the Bears.
Now on third and short, double tight end set. Maurice Johnson comes in and joins Mark Bavaro as the tight end. Herschel Walker gets the carry and the first down over right tackle. Went over the back of Antone Davis and Ron Hallstrom.
Yeah, I really like the very first play of the game for the Eagles on offense. It was a short pass by Brister to Bailey, and what it did is it gave 2 guys confidence in one play. And by giving your quarterback confidence and your rookie wide receiver, remember Bailey's filling some pretty big shoes here today too, and Fred Barnett, it just makes that entire offense feel better, and they're moving the chains impressively now.
And they've got a first down at the 48-yard line. You look at Richard Dent, 4.5 sacks so far this year. That's Bavaro starting in motion. And the deep handoff goes to Walker again. Into the tackle of Steve McMichael. No score. This is the opening drive of the game for the Eagles. The Chicago Bears took the opening kickoff, and moved it to midfield. And here comes William Refrigerator Perry, whose role now with the Bears has really been reduced.
But it's very specific. Wannstedt told us last night that he wants to use Perry against teams that run the ball. The Eagles run the ball very well, and he will also use them in short yardage and goal line situations.
2nd and 6. Calvin Williams comes back to the near side. Brister flips it out. Intercepted by Richard Dent. Walker and Brister are chasing him, and he is tackled from behind. Richard Dent with the pick. The Bears had 7 turnovers that they got against Tampa Bay, and they get a big one here as Brister is intercepted by Dent, who returns it 23 yards.
He's done this 8 times in his career, Verne, but this one, you know, you talk about Dent. Watch him on the line of scrimmage. He sees Walker come out on this pass route, and he sees the quarterback. He drops back, and he picks it off. The one word that people use about Dent is that he's crafty, but usually they're talking about how he rushes the passer, not how he picks the passer off.
The handoff on the first down play goes to Craig Hayward, and he's down near the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the NFL record for interceptions by a defensive lineman is, but 8 is pretty good.
As they used to say, it's a darn good average. 2nd down. Well, the Chicago team came in +7 in turnovers, and they just picked off a big one. Backs are split. Bob Christian goes in motion, and a quick screen out to Curtis Conway. That's out of what they call the Rhino formation.
Yeah, they bring in both Bob Christian and the big guy, Ironhead Hayward, but the key to it, you know, they fake that little run to those big guys and then flip it out there to Conway. And that's another way of getting Conway more involved and use some of that special athletic ability that he has.
One of the Eagles down, and can't tell yet which one it is.
Talk about a team that's had a lot of injuries, especially along that defensive front. A lot of attention, of course, to last week when 3 guys went down all on offense. But that defensive line is really beat up. This is Clyde Simmons, and he was one of the few healthy guys.
Time has been called as a small plane bisects the view.
I'm always looking for good ideas, so I said to the Xerox rep, "What are you selling?" "Documents," she shoots back. "Documents? You must be kidding. I don't have time." "Precisely. That's what I'm selling," she says. "Do all your printing electronically, save time and money." And I see it. Print all my catalogs in a week, not a month. Huge savings. "I get it," I say. "My documents are my time." "Now you're talking," she says.
See your documents differently. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX, the document company.
Imagine you just stepped on the accelerator of an Eldorado touring coupe with a North Star system by Cadillac. Now you've passed 60 miles per hour and you're wondering, is this really a Cadillac? As you quickly approach 100 miles per hour. Of course, you wouldn't really do this because you're not a professional test driver on a closed track. But if you were, you could approach 150 miles per hour. The Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Fred's my AT&T sales rep.
The country gives me the creeps, but I came out here to tell Jan about AT&T's Maximum Advantage.
Everything about it is simple, except running it.
Maximum Advantage doesn't work for you. You're automatically enrolled. You get AT&T's best service at our lowest price guaranteed. We'll look at your calling patterns quarterly and make new recommendations. Jan, with our international fax and calling plans for our 800 service, you could be hosting the whole world that you're in.
Hi.
We're the Raskins.
Ah, welcome.
Fred really knows my business. I'm sure I could get him up here full time.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. Xerox, the document company. AT&T, we help put your world within reach. And by new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State Motor Oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines.
We are in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the adversity continues for the Eagles. They brought the rickshaw out, and Clyde Simmons, the stalwart right defensive end of the Philadelphia Eagles, is being assisted directly into the locker room. And we will get word to you as quickly as we can on the nature of the injury, but it's not good. Here's the handoff inside the 20.
It's just unbelievable what continues to happen to the Eagles. They lose 2 Pro Bowl players last week against the Jets, and now they lose Clyde Simmons. Here's the play. It was a quick screen out to Conway. And here's Simmons on the ground here. Hard to tell. Looked like the pile just got him.
2nd down and 8. Backs are split. No score in the game. Somebody jumped and flags are down. Harbaugh throws it too high. Intended for Neil Anderson down the right side. The word now is an injured left knee, and he's been taken in for x-rays before Clyde Simmons. Well, and they've also had Tim Harris. They brought in Tim Harris at a $1.8 million salary to replace Reggie White. And Harris came in with an injured elbow. Here's the call from Dale Hamer. That's the man who replaced Clyde Simmons. Just to continue the story on Tim Harris, he was acquired from San Francisco. He had a bad elbow. It got worse. He just had surgery this week. He's out for probably 8 weeks. 2nd down and 3. Harbaugh, Anderson, nothing there.
From the right of the screen, we're going to see right here. There's the plant by Simmons, and he goes down that right knee. This is a banged-up defensive line, but the strength of this team, the defensive team, is in their linebackers, Thomas Evans and Joyner, and they will be tested without Clyde Simmons in the lineup.
3rd and 5, no score in the game. Here comes the blitz. Harbaugh across the middle, incomplete. And Kevin Butler, who kicked 2 last week in Chicago, will get another chance. The offensive woes continue for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, they got that big turnover by Dent and took the ball down the field, but aside from Conway's reception on the screen, really didn't do much with that turnover. Butler's first time ever kicking here at the Vet, but of course he's used to windy conditions.
Chris Kardocki will hold it, and there's motion in the line. Dave Wanstead in his first year as head coach of the Chicago Bears. And this one will be against his team.
Swirling wind here at the Vet. It's a circular stadium. Flags may be blowing one way, but the wind down on the field is totally different than what the flags indicate at the top of the stadium.
Butler from 37, low snap. Kick is on the way, and it's perfect. So Kevin Butler, in his first appearance ever at Veterans Stadium, knocks home a 37-yard field goal. Richie Kotite's team will be on offense, trailing by 3.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. Superior protection against wear. Superior protection against heat and stress. Superior cleaning power. New advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And now, announcing the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate to try new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State.
The Standard, an automobile seat that may transfer bumps from the road and aggravate your back. The higher standard in the all-new Cadillac DeVille is new suspension seating, which acts like a shock absorber for the driver's back, isolating you from bumps to help reduce back pressure and increase circulation, which should leave you more refreshed mile after mile. Suspension seating in the new V8-powered DeVille by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
You know, I was the first one in my family to go to college. It was a nice school thing, which is cool because now I can do some good things and give back what I learned. And the brothers, they see me, and maybe they'll want to do something better for themselves, you know? Because the younger generation makes the same mistakes we do. I mean, whose fault is that? Man, there's just a lot of happening things, you know, around when you stop giving in.
Beautiful day in Pennsylvania, in downtown Philadelphia, and just south at Veterans Stadium, the site of the baseball playoffs, and of course where the Eagles play their home games. And the Chicago Bears leading 3-0 on their first appearance here since 1989. 87, I beg your pardon. Last time they played here was a strike year. There's Sikahima, who will take it and drop to his knee. It'll come out to the 20. Well, on the NFL today, you saw the conversation that our guys in the studio had with Randall Cunningham. It was a week ago today in the Meadowlands, where Randall broke the fibula in his left leg, second time in the last 3 years that he's been out because of injury. He says, though, Dan, that he will be back before the year's out.
He's a remarkable athlete, and I think he feels a lot better knowing that it wasn't his knee that was injured, that bones have a way of healing stronger than ligaments, obviously.
Bubby Brister came in with the team down by 14 and led them to the victory. And he's the quarterback now. He hands it off to Herschel Walker. And the gain is out to the 21-yard line. The Eagles, of course, also lost. Here's Broderick Thomas, your old teammate, and Richard Dent having a little conversation. Now Brister gets in his face.
Well, Dent is going to do a lot of talking out there, and he's going to let Bubby know, hey, why don't you throw me another one of those little picks there? And Broderick's got to be a little bit frustrated because he was doing a good job pass protecting, and Dent just fell off and picked it off.
Broderick Thompson said yesterday that his first year in San Diego, he got into a fight with Matt Millen, and you broke it up, right?
Mistaken identity. There's no way I'd get between those two guys.
2nd and 9. Brister. Fumble picked up by the Bears. The opportunistic Chicago team has its second turnover of the first quarter. Trace Armstrong forced it. Dante Jones recovered it.
2 turnovers in a row now for the Eagles after starting the day so well and so impressively. Again, Brister's looking for somebody to get the ball to. Doesn't tuck it away. Armstrong comes from the blind side, and the Bears take over inside the 30.
Chicago leads it 3-0. Philadelphia came in -5 in turnovers despite the 4-0 record, and they've coughed it up twice. Anderson comes right, and he got a little bit of a block from Curtis Conway, the rookie wide receiver, to help get him around the corner. Mark McMillan makes the tackle.
The Bears should have a lot of success now running the ball against this defensive line of the Eagles. I mean, you've got Flores, who's a pass rush specialist, taking over for Simmons. Gerald Nichols is in Andy Harmon's spot, but Andy Harmon's in Tim Harris's spot. And then you got Keith Millard. Not exactly what the Eagle fans are used to seeing up front.
2nd and 5, blitz. Anderson coughs it up. Ball is still loose. I think Chicago recovers.
I think it's Harbaugh on the bottom of that pile. It looked like Gerald Nichols had a real good shot at it down there, but the ball just got away from him. Watch the blitz here by Byron Evans. He's going to punch this ball out. Great timing. Watch the right hand. There goes the ball. And Wes Hopkins is real close. There's Nichols, and the ball just bounces over to Harbaugh.
Byron Evans, who had that huge tackle on Boomer Esiason to save the win last week. One of the more memorable tackles in the '93 season. 3rd and 15 after the loss of 10. The blitz threatened again. It's an 8-man front for the Eagles. They're coming. And Harbaugh goes deep for Conway. Battle in the end zone. Touchdown, Curtis Conway. He whipped Ben Smith.
5th game of the year, the Bears finally get a big play, and they finally get to see their #1 draft pick pay off.
Dave Wanstead said last night it's been the best week of practice the team has had because for the first time all summer and fall, they had a full complement of players. All 53 were able to work out. And most notable of those was Curtis Conway, the #1 draft choice, who just gets the touchdown. Extra point is up and good. Only his 3rd catch of the season, a 32-yard touchdown toss, Curtis Conway.
And a pretty good average, Verne. His first touchdown of his NFL career, and it's a highlight.
Bears lead by 10.
It is an entirely new class of luxury automobile, created to a higher standard. So responsive, its advanced V8 Northstar system makes passing and merging virtually effortless. And so spacious, it accommodates 6 passengers in complete comfort. It is a combination of qualities you've never seen before. Yet a single drive will make you wonder why you ever settled for less. Introducing the all-new DeVille Concours by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
There we were, a jillion miles outside of the hood. The bus got a flat, got no jack. Homie's got to cut his grass. What's up?
Sold.
The man's round sales, but he's got no beat.
Pardon me.
That was that. Huh? Yo, MC Cow Seller. Fresh. Come on, push yourself. Put your heart into it. Be tough.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
More feeling.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Now that I'm in the Meineke corner, if anyone says you have to pay a lot to get high-quality muffler service, you know what to tell them.
I am not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
By George, I think he's got it.
Now more than ever, at Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
How much romance can you stand?
So where's it taking you? Sit down.
How much passion can you take?
Corn nuts? Okay.
Northern Exposure is for lovers, all new Monday.
On the left is 40-year-old Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears. Dave Wanstead on the right. The two of them telling us yesterday, we got to get Conway into this. Here's Sikahema, and he will bring it out. Boy, he's a dandy. He's been doing that for a long, long time. And by Sikahema gets it out to the 28-yard line. Maurice Douglas with a tackle.
As you mentioned, Verne, it was a blitz on the touchdown play. Watch this man right here come. That means he's got individual man-on-man coverage on the outside. Ben Smith and Curtis Conway. No help in the middle, so it's just one-on-one. And this is just a fabulous catch by Curtis Conway for the touchdown. Bears are awfully good this year at scoring points after turnovers.
Vaughn Hebron has come in now as a running back, joining Herschel Walker. Walker gets a block from Hebron, comes left, tripped up behind the line, and moves it near the 30-yard line. It's Hebron, rather, not Walker. Vaughn Hebron, who was one of the real surprises this summer. A free agent out of Virginia Tech. Giants lead over the Redskins. And Emmitt Smith has just scored from 20 yards out. Troy Aikman also threw a touchdown pass in that game.
Saw the Cowboys last week against Green Bay, and with Emmitt Smith back in the lineup, they look better than they looked last year when they won the Super Bowl.
Well, those who don't know, Ron Turner has a brother, Norval, who's the offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Bobby Brister to Mark Bavaro, and he gets that out to the 31-yard line. Well, Dallas up by 14. How do they do it? Let's go back to New York. Here's Jim Nantz.
All right, Verne, let me show you that 20-yard touchdown run by Emmitt Smith. It's a beauty. Twice the Colts have turned it over. Both times the Cowboys have found the end zone. This coming 2 plays after a fumble recovery. 14-0 Dallas after the first quarter. Let's go back to Verne and Dan.
All right, Jim, it's 10-0 here. Both scores coming after turnovers. One a field goal, the other a touchdown. Now the Bears look like they might be blitzing. Mark Carrier sneaks up in the line. He's coming. Brister Goes right side, caught by Walker, breaks the tackle, first down. Herschel Walker out near the 40.
And he broke the tackle of middle linebacker Dante Jones. Jones had him short of the first down, but Herschel got those big shoulders of his down low, used those powerful legs to break the tackle, pick up the first down.
Bubby Brister looks over to the near side. Said he was angry about the way things have gone the last couple of years. He was the one-time starter in Pittsburgh, got injured, bad knee, 4 operations, gave way to Neil O'Donoghue, and didn't play much at all, and finally was acquired by the Eagles. Here's play action. Richard Dent has him. Oh my goodness, Dent has really been a factor early in the game. An interception and now a sack. His 5th and a half sack this year.
And 117 in his fantastic career to go with those 8 interceptions. The play action is going to be right at him, and he gets right by Broderick Thompson, who gives up his first sack of the year. And that's a crucial one, as that sends the Eagles way back into a long second down situation.
I knew what you wanted to say. That's the end of the first quarter of play. Bears lead it 10-0 on 2 Philadelphia turnovers.
Hold on. I don't just overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnight it. Might as well overnight.
Overnight this.
Overnight the overnight.
Overnight. Overnight.
Sometimes overnight is overkill. So kick the habit with Priority Mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Good morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
Look, it's Big Shot Lawyers.
Put the calf roping back on.
Let's watch both. Miller Lite presents the Big Lawyer Roundup. There's Billy Pugh going after that divorce lawyer that took away his bass boat.
Get him.
Got him. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything. Check it out, Bobby. Here comes a big, rich tax attorney.
This is some beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
I was afraid to go to the doctor. I didn't want to hear that I might have an ulcer, but I just couldn't ignore my stomach. And you can imagine how relieved I was when my doctor said Mylanta. He told me it wasn't an ulcer. It was indigestion. And indigestion like mine needed a strong medicine.
Mylanta is strong medicine, strongly recommended. In fact, Mylanta is the antacid doctors recommend most.
My doctor said Mylanta.
Also available in tablets and now gel caps.
October 27th.
Cool concept. Rock star, comedian, private eyes.
South of Sunset.
We'll be there.
The fun begins when the sun sets.
We're back for the second quarter at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Verne Lundquist and Dan Fouts. The Eagles right where they've been each of the last 3 weeks, down by 10 or more. The Chicago Bears lead it 10-0. Philadelphia has a second down and 22. The important thing, if you're an Eagle fan, is that they've won each of those 3 games. First time in the NFL that any team has come from 10 down 3 times in a row to win. And that's tipped by Dent and almost picked off by Joe Kane.
And Bubby's got to get his head around a little bit faster and see that big number 95 isn't really coming after him on some of these plays. Watch Dent, top of the screen here, after the fake. Bubby just whips around and is going to throw it. And look at Dent just playing the quarterback's eyes. Tips that one up in the air, and Joe Kane came real close to picking it off.
Is that a matter of film study?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's also a matter of experience. I mean, Dent's been around now for 11 years. He's seen just about everything a quarterback and an offense can throw at him.
Here comes Dent. There goes Brister. Mo Douglas and Trace Armstrong arrive almost simultaneously at the body of Bubby Brister.
Now it's third down and 21. Bubby gets out of the pocket, and there's no way he's ever going to pick up that yardage for the first down. And then he doesn't choose to slide. He takes on Mo Douglas head first. It's part of the thing that Kotite talked to us about yesterday. Don't play Superman today, Bubby. Just go out and play within the system.
Jeff Feagles with the punt, not a good one. Terry Obie at the 28. And he moves it back across the 30 near the 34-yard line. Tackle is made by Otis Smith. We're early in the second quarter. Chicago up by 10, and they've got the football.
Smith Barney Shearson, where we stand on the stock market. With stock prices near an all-time high, many analysts consider the market overvalued. We are not among them. We believe the market will go even higher, and we've identified companies we think will lead the way. Companies you may not expect. Talk with us. Smith Barney Shearson. We make money the old-fashioned way. We earn it.
Today's office doesn't always come with four walls, so no matter where your employees do business, AT&T has a way to help. Call now for the AT&T Corporate Calling Card. We can customize a plan from over 70 features like flexible billing by location, individual, or account code, fraud protection, discounts up to 40%, and worldwide access. The AT&T Corporate Calling Card. Find out how customized a calling card can be.
We're under budget and we're ahead of schedule.
For this guy, any deodorant will do. But these guys need Speed Stick. Antiperspirant that gives 110%, even if you don't. 24-hour protection against wetness. And now Speed Stick deodorant has a powerful new formula to fight odor. Speed Stick. For movers and shakers, the #1, the only one.
The injured Eagle on the field is number 55, Ken Rose. Here he is. Watch Otis Smith come in from the outside and hit him low as he's about to make the tackle on Terry Obie. And it just continues to amaze me, the injuries that have happened, and serious injuries that have happened to this Eagle football team. Last week, they lose Barnett, Seidner, and, of course, Cunningham. Already today, they've lost Clyde Simmons, and now Ken Rose is going to be helped off the field on a go-kart. So it's offense, defense, and now special teams are being affected by injuries.
Kenny Rose is really the star of their special teams outfit, too, number 55. Larry Pasquale, the special teams coach, doesn't need this kind of news at all. And we have no update, by the way, on Clyde Simmons, the Pro Bowl defensive end of the Eagles, who was taken to the locker room for x-rays of a knee injury. And now Ken Rose will likewise be taken off and into the locker room or immediately to the x-ray area. First down and 10, Bears. They lead it by a 10-0 score. Curtis Conway is in, comes wide to the left side. Jim Harbaugh threw him a touchdown of 32 yards last time out. Short setup. Harbaugh right side. And that's Wendell Davis who makes the grab. He had only 9 catches coming in. Richie Kotite.
And he will not allow his team to get down or worry about these injuries. He says that there's going to be turmoil every week. There's going to be turmoil throughout the league. What matters most is what happens now and not what just happened. But it's unbelievable how many negative things have happened to Kotite since he's taken over as head coach of the Eagles.
That was 3 years ago in his first game as a head coach. Randall Cunningham went out with a knee injury for the season. That was in Green Bay in '91. Harbaugh gets some pressure and throws it away. And yet, despite all of these injuries and the death of Jerome Brown, which may be the single most important event in the history of this team in the last 3 years, look at this. They've still finished 10-6, 12-4, and off to a 4-0 start this season. They're down by 10 now, but as we said, they were down to Green Bay by 10, came back and won. They were down to the New York Giants, or Washington Redskins, I beg your pardon, came back and won. And then last week, of course, to the New York Jets. They won at 35-30. 31.
This is a team that the Bears have had a lot of success against the Eagles.
Harbaugh, play action. Craig Hayward. The earth moved and he ran out of bounds.
Well, he got half of that 300 pounds leaning too far to the right, and he couldn't pull it back onto the field. Stepped out of bounds, or he might have scored. Great play action fake by Harbaugh as he fakes it to Anderson right there. And Ironhead sneaks out into the secondary.
Yeah, sneak.
Yeah, see, if he was holding the ball in his left hand, he might have been able to keep his balance. He got too much of that 300 over to the right, though.
Watching him tightrope is not a pretty sight.
That's no Walenda there.
Hayward hit behind the line on first down.
That'd be a real thick tightrope for him to get on down the field.
Yeah, he got about 300 leaning to the right, but there was still 75 inbounds. One more time.
Never to be confused with a great Walenda. But it did pick up a first down. I mean, he wasn't even close. Every time his right foot came down, it was out of bounds.
Second down. And 10. That's Gerald Nichols, who was in the backfield, number 74.
And Millard's getting that technique down pretty good, where he knocks the quarterback down and helps him up real fast before the official can throw the flag.
Coach Smith, defense, number 45, 5 yards, still second down.
And here's good news. Clyde Simmons has just come back on the field, and he was running when he came back. He's trotting behind the Eagle bench right now.
Now that's a miracle to see him out here running around like that, because remember, it was just moments ago that they put him in the rickshaw and took him into the locker room.
Well, we still have no word officially from the Philadelphia Eagles on his injury, but obviously I think we can surmise it's not quite serious.
That's the best news the Eagles have had in a long time.
Second down and 5 from the 40. Blitz look by Philadelphia. Keith Millard was the first one through. Already got his uniform bloody. That didn't take long.
Millard has to rely on quickness. Watch him shoot this gap right here. He gets off the ball as quick as anybody in football and just gets inside Verne Smith and makes a big play.
Keith Millard. Neil Anderson, Dan, has now rushed 6 times for -7 yards. 3rd and 8. Harbaugh left side. Wendell Davis first down. Nifty pass, Harbaugh to Davis. And that moves the chain to the 30-yard line. Well, what good news that is. And look, you can see Wes Hopkins welcoming Clyde Simmons back.
Well, they know, Hopkins knows that the Eagles have got to get some pass rush. If anybody's going to provide it, it's going to be number 96.
Look at the total rushing yardage, -2. First down and 10, though. Harbaugh play action. He's got some room to the left. And that may be good enough to pick up another first down as Eric Allen makes the tackle. Dan was talking a while ago about the domination of the Chicago Bears. Go ahead.
Well, watch, as Harbaugh gets back here, Vern, he's going to step up into the pocket, and there's not going to be any Eagles in this area of the field. Looks like it's a nice man-to-man coverage. Look at this side. There's not an Eagle within 30 yards of him when he breaks the line of scrimmage.
That's Chris Gedney, number 84, in motion. Harbaugh dances to the right. Being chased, lets it go. Caught by Gedney. And he's inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Flag is down.
Flag is down in the end zone, and it appears to be holding or pass interference against the Eagles. Wendell Davis was working his way towards the baseline of the end zone, and that's close to where the flag is. But that was an impressive catch and run by Gedney, wasn't it?
Yes.
Doing a Mark Bavaro imitation.
He just worked out this
Holding.
week.
Number 21, the defense. Penalties declined. First down.
So that's a gain of 11 as they decline the penalty on Eric Allen.
Well, when Harbaugh starts to scramble, here's up at the top here. Here's Allen and Davis. Just watch Allen grab him when Harbaugh comes out of the pocket. The penalty happens right about there.
Hayward and Harbaugh. And Craig Hayward gets the handoff. Gerald Nichols makes the tackle.
That's where we're more comfortable seeing this guy carry the ball, is between the tackles.
Depends on your perspective. If he's coming at you, I don't know how comfortable you are. We were talking with Andy Harmon last night about Hayward. We played against him in college. He had some disparaging comments to make about him. Here's Hayward. He won't be talking in a negative way very soon, though, because Hayward gets it down to the 1-yard line.
Well, you know, Hayward outweighs everybody along that defensive line of the Eagles. He's, you know, reportedly 290 pounds. That's a lie. He's
Boy,
more
I got
than
some
that.
money on that one.
Yeah, you know, Simmons is 280, Andy Harmon's 265, Millard's about 250, and you know, Flores is about 250. So it's pretty good when your fullback weighs more than the guys trying to tackle him.
3rd and goal from inside the 1, and it's already 10-0 Chicago. Play action. Harbaugh, run or throw, touchdown.
You talk about a moment of truth, Verne. Harbaugh faces a moment of truth here on this touchdown run at about the 2-yard line. Do I go for the corner or do I go out of bounds? He went for the corner and got the touchdown. And now he's paying for it. He got hit by about 3 guys.
Now the extra point from Kevin Butler. It is up and good.
There comes a moment in every quarterback's life when you got to make a big decision for the betterment of the ball club. That's what Harbaugh gave the Bears that time.
It seems these days folks are taking a new look at their priorities. With that in mind, Chevy brings you the roomiest full-size pickup ever made, so that family can come first and work second. The extended cab from Chevrolet. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Well, I mean, I work a lot of hours all week. You know, on the weekends, that's my time. And I think it's important to be with the brothers. Work's really important to me, too, but it's nothing like having a whole crew of friends. You know, just hanging and throwing out certain philosophies at one another. We don't do anything in particular. It's just more about loyalty and consideration for the crew you hanging with. And the ladies understand that. Because, you know, it's what we gotta do.
It's coming over the hill, Sarge.
Hit the lights, boys! Bigfoot!
2 square feet of pizza and a tasty new crust, all for $10.99. Bigfoot Pizza, the biggest pizza you can get delivered.
Save right now. Buy 3 Goodyear tires at the regular price, get the 4th tire free. That's right. Buy any 3 of these Goodyear tires at the regular price and get the 4th free. 4 for 3 now. Hurry, savings end soon.
Next Sunday on CBS, it's the Eagles and the Giants, then the 49ers and the Cowboys.
Bless you. He's a big fan.
If there is such a thing as a satisfying ache, I think Jim Harbaugh is feeling it right now.
He'd rather feel it tomorrow, though, when, you know, this 17-0 score holds up for a win. He's got a lot of football yet to play.
By Sikahema. He's got some room. All the way out beyond the 35-yard line. A 45-yard return. Marcus Paul makes the catch, and Bubby Brister has to right things. He's 3 of 6, but he's also been picked off by Richard Dent, and he has fumbled.
Yeah, but I think the Eagles are starting to feel comfortable. I think feel they've got the Bears exactly where they want them. 17 points up. You know, they were down 21 last week to the Jets.
And they came back to win at 35-30. 1st and 10. Brister sacked. Trace Armstrong gets this one. That's his 3rd of the season.
Here's Armstrong coming just on the pass rush. He lines up wide all the way outside the tight end. And it's a bull rush on Antone Davis. Now that's pretty good when you consider the difference in the size of those two men. Davis at 325 and Armstrong at only 265. The little guy went in there and headbutted the big guy and got the sack.
2nd and 13. Blitz coming. They hand it off to James Joseph, and he's knocked down. No gain. And some agitated verbal responses in the form of boos are being heard here in the city of brotherly love. I knew what I wanted to say.
I thought you were changing the whole motto here, calling it the sister city of love or something. But here's that comeback thing we're talking about, Verne. Down 10 to Green Bay, and they were down 10 to Washington as well. And, of course, down 21 to the Jets and won all 3.
3rd and 12 now. They're down by 17. Out of the shotgun. Herschel Walker in motion. 4-man rush by the Bears. Walker way short of the first down. Well, I'm not so sure about that play on 3rd and 12.
And Brister pulls himself up off the turf after he got dropped by Tim Ryan. So Wannstedt's Bears are doing a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage and forcing Bubby to get rid of the ball perhaps sooner than he wants to. Ryan is 99. He gets a late shot there down low against the quarterback. And you saw Brister just didn't have much time at all.
Nice high punt by Jeff Feagles. Terry Obie will let it bounce. And it looked like a 9-iron when it hit on the 9-yard line and backed up a little bit. Not one of my 9-irons. That's for sure. But it comes to a stop. Jeff Feagles led the league with 26 punts down inside the 20 a year ago. He gets his 7th of the season here.
It was pouring rain. I was late. The guy from Xerox was waiting to talk about my documents. My documents, I asked. Add impact to your direct mail, he says. Just add color. You can get 25% more responses. More responses, I say? And I see it. How color gets my documents to make money. I say call my direct mail anything you want. If you're helping my cash flow, you're talking my language.
See your documents differently. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX, the document company.
Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
Listen, it's a credit card. It does not make you a superhero. Actually, maybe it does. I mean, no card is more accepted on the planet, so you can use it for practically anything, like plane tickets. So you could fly like a superhero, or at the hospital, so you'd have x-ray vision. And you can use it to get cash at ATMs all over. So in any situation, you can just say, stand back, I'll handle this. So maybe MasterCard could make you a superhero. All you need now is a secret identity. MasterCard, it's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
Emmy winners Tom Skerritt and Kathy Baker return in the Emmy-winning Best Dramatic Series. Come experience television's best. Picket Fences, coming Fridays.
There's one of the bridges that cross from Pennsylvania into New Jersey. Philadelphia playing at home today and down to Chicago 17-0. Those shots taken by Anheuser-Busch's aerial ambassador, the Bud One airship, based in Southern California, traveling throughout the country on a national tour. The Bud One will also use its eye in the sky camera to provide aerial coverage during the World Series. And here's the handoff to Anderson out across the 21-yard line. Of course, Philadelphia fans are hopeful that the World Series will be played in part here. The Phillies, however, are down in Atlanta and trail. They played here the other night and got whomped 14-3, and then they got beat yesterday by the Braves 9-4. They play later tonight on CBS.
And how about them White Sox?
How about them White Sox? Just an average week for news in Chicago this week.
I heard that Michael Jordan retired.
Somebody told me that. The Bears win last week and wind up on page 9 of the newspapers.
And talking to Sean Gale last night, he said he's going to pay tribute to Michael Jordan's retiring by wearing number 23 all year.
Been wearing it for about 11 years.
He said he wore it in Chicago before Jordan got there. Didn't quite make the same impact, though.
Ball just short. And it'll be second out. 17-0 Chicago. The last Philadelphia victory in this series 13 years ago. Here, 17-14. There's the handoff to Hayward, and he's out across the 22 near the 23-yard line. And that'll be enough to move the chains. These two teams first played 60 years ago in the Baker Bowl in Philadelphia. That game ended in a 3-3 tie. And the Bears have owned this series 23-4-1.
You know, nobody back then complained about field goal kickers either, Verne. Because field goal kickers at that time also played football. They were usually defensive linemen or offensive linemen. And they toe punched the ball.
First down and 10, Harbaugh. Thrown for one, scored one. And goes deep this time in the general area of the training staff of the Chicago Bears.
That's twice today Harbaugh has taken advantage of that new rule where you get out of the pocket and you can just throw the ball away without risking getting an intentional grounding call.
Isn't it funny how little we've heard about that rule this year?
Well, because it's a type of rule that evens out. Both teams can do it. Anybody as a quarterback, once they get out of the pocket, can take advantage of it. And nobody ever really pays that much attention to defensive guys' complaints anyway.
Oh, really?
I never did.
Second and 10, 17-0 Chicago. Out near the 27-yard line, this is Neil Anderson trying to get into positive yardage. That is his 8th carry, and he's got 9 yards.
But his last 2 runs have been impressive. They both picked up some good yardage. See, pretty good balance here. He can't get much more balance than this for Chicago. And remember how they started out the game. They were throwing the ball on their first 3 downs.
Davis comes near side with Waddle. Conway, he is wide right. See if they might take a shot here on 3rd and 4. Right side, caught by Getney. And the big rookie tight end from Syracuse makes his 2nd catch. That's a gain of 11.
Seth Joyner's going to come on a blitz here on this 3rd and 4 situation. Vernon, watch Gedney read it. Just come out. Nice pickup by Neil Anderson. That allows Harbaugh a nice, clean throwing lane to a very impressive rookie. And aren't the Bears glad to have Gedney back in the lineup after breaking his collarbone in training camp?
They really do like him as a part of their passing offense. 1st and 10, play action. Now they'll take a shot, maybe. They go deep for Davis. And incidental contact at the 25, and Davis looks like he might have been hurt. His reaction when he went back for the ball was kind of unusual. And he almost pulled up. It might have been a hamstring.
Yeah, the injury bug bites the Bears now. Hard to tell looking at his legs here. That ball was underthrown by Harbaugh because he had 2 Eagles right in his face. This could be a popped hamstring here. Watch Davis try to adjust to the ball, and his legs just go out from under him, as you said, Verne. That looks terrible.
Well, Wendell Davis is down at the 25-yard line. The injury bug continues to hit both teams. Wendell Davis in obvious agony. 17-0 Bears lead. Time has been called.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Bud, why?
When most manufacturers develop a new truck, they start with a model. Good idea. Here's ours. Introducing the first and only family of trucks designed from the inside out. A design that starts with you and has become the all-new Chevy S-Series. Everything else is history.
Double header. I'm hungry. That goes double for me. McDonald's, I'm the double.
Thanks to McDonald's Double Plays, you can get 2 double cheeseburgers for $2 or 2 triple cheeseburgers for $3.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Dear Midas customers, we don't want your family riding around on bad brakes. That's why we'll fix the brakes on most cars the same day you bring it in.
4:04 remaining first half. Time still out on the field because for the third time in the first half, they've had to bring the car to the rickshaw out. This time it's Wendell Davis, the Bear wide receiver, with the injury.
And they're looking at his right knee. It looks like he stopped to plant to go back to make an attempt at the ball, and his right knee just gave way. Ball was underthrown just a touch because Gerald Nichols had wonderful pressure right in the face of Harbaugh. Number 74 is Nichols. He gets a nice 8-yard clean run and buries his helmet right in the chest of Harbaugh.
Curtis Conway, excuse me, Dan.
Well, you know, Verne, you talked about Conway. Wanstead told us yesterday he expected Curtis to play perhaps 50% of the time today. Well, he just had the other 50 added to his playing time. Davis is going to be done for the day. This is an opportunity for Conway to show what he can do, and he's already made a fantastic catch for a touchdown in the first quarter.
Meanwhile, Conway and the other Chicago Bear offensive mates wait as Wendell Davis is going to be helped onto the cart. Clyde Simmons, of course, went out with a knee injury early in the first quarter, but came back and is back on the field. Ken Rose, the special team star of the Eagles, was also taken off the field. He has an ankle problem, but that's all we know about that. And the patience with which they treat Wendell Davis obviously appreciated.
And you can see Richard Dent here and William Perry, longtime teammates of Wendell Davis. And McMichael as well.
Miami. Good.
Well, I thought baseball season was over. Did you see that 5-0 score?
I was looking at that and I thought, what inning are they in?
How did Minnesota and Tampa get in the baseball playoffs? More field goals, Verne.
Ah, yes, that'll inspire you to flights of eloquence, I'm sure.
It's interesting in talking to the both the kickers, both Kevin Butler and Matt Barr, about, you know, what do you do about all these kicks? Barr wants to narrow the goalpost to make it more difficult, and Butler wants to get rid of all the domes and have all the kickers kick in windy weather, as he has to do so often in Chicago.
Now, have they immobilized both legs?
That's incredible. They have braces on both legs of Wendell Davis. Never seen that before. I remember one time when John Thomas of the 49ers, an offensive guard, was injured. He injured both knees on one play, but that was many years ago. Never have ever seen a wide receiver injured in such manner.
Second down and 10 as we resume play, and Wendell Davis taken into the locker room. The handoff goes to Hayward. He comes left across the 45 out to the 46, and Gerald Nichols makes the tackle.
You talk about the evils of AstroTurf. I think we've just have an excellent example of why this is dangerous surface to play football on. Davis planted both feet to go up for that reception, and it appeared that both feet stuck in this turf, and that's why he was injured. He was not hit by any player, and how many times do you see this turf contribute to such a devastating injury?
3rd and 4. And the game clock ran down. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Bears and make it a 3rd and 9. Here's Dale Hamer.
First charge timeout, 40-second timeout, 40 seconds.
Call time before the clock ran out. They got the time called. Or is it Philadelphia's time?
I think so. I think they had some confusion. May have only had 10 men on the field. But it's amazing how an injury like the one to Davis affects the flow of the game and the momentum of the game. It's important right now. There's an opportunity for the Eagles to grab control of this game right now as far as the momentum's concerned, if they can hold the Bears and force a punt.
Our report from the Eagles bench, or rather the Chicago bench now, is that the injury was to Wendell Davis's left knee. That is the report we get from the Chicago bench. That does not help us understand why both legs were immobilized. But that is the report from the Chicago bench.
A partial report, perhaps.
Here comes Conway.
That may be the more serious of the 2 injuries.
Right. On 3rd down, back split. Blitz coming. Harbaugh off his back foot, almost picked off by a diving Byron Evans. And Harbaugh down by Gerald Nichols. Nichols playing very well here in the first half.
And another ex-Jet that Kotite has had to call on to contribute. That's been a big problem for Harbaugh and the Bears all year, is planting that back foot and not being able to step forward and into your throw.
Here comes Gardaki's punt, nice and high by Sikahema with the fair catch at the 16-yard line. And Dan, we now have confirmation of the injury to Ken Rose, and it's not good news. A fractured left fibula, probably gone for the year.
That's incredible. How many times have you ever heard of a team having 2 players break their fibulas, which is the non-weight-bearing bone in the leg, lower leg, in back-to-back weeks?
Right.
Kotite must feel that there's somebody out there with a little doll with an Eagle uniform on it. They're sticking pins in it like a voodoo doll.
Well, the Eagles back on offense. As Dan suggested, if they could get something on the board here in the final 3:13, they could grab a piece of the momentum of this ball game. Right now it's 17-0. First downs this quarter, 7-0. So the Eagle offense has been non-existent, and there's some confusion with the officials right now.
Maybe some fan in the stands is blowing a whistle or something.
You know what? I bet that is what it is.
You see that in basketball every now and then, but I feel sorry for Dale Hamer. He's going to try and, yeah, there's the whistle. That's the guy in the crazy glasses.
Hey, Maud, you ain't going to believe what happened to me today.
That's unbelievable. Only in Philadelphia, huh? Why would you bring a whistle to the game?
In case you got drowned in the suds. Mark Carrier with the tackle.
Eagles are 4-0 because of the contributions of players such as Herschel Walker, and the Eagles are really going to need him and this type of strength as he pulls away from a couple of Bears and goes close to the first down. Eagles have 2 timeouts to work with as we get close to the 2-minute warning.
2nd down and 2. Walker with 45 yards. Philadelphia 2 turnovers, and they trail by 17. Goes left, and that's a Philadelphia first down at the 35-yard line. Tackle made by Sean Gale, and a gain of 11. Might be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Eagles have 2 timeouts left.
Real nice block here by Broderick Thompson and also Mo Johnson, the tight ends, as they seal off this left side. Broderick Thompson showing the good athlete he is. He pulls out on little tiny Anthony Blaylock and allows Herschel to get upfield and pick up the first down.
We've reached the 2-minute warning in Philly.
Hold on. I don't just overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnighted. Might as well overnight it.
Overnight this.
Overnight that. Overnight.
Overnight it. Overnight.
Sometimes overnight is overkill. So kick the habit with Priority Mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
Your business is growing, and more people means more benefits, complications, regulations. The Principal Financial Group can help. They'll give your benefit plan direction, provide focused solutions, and quick response. That's why more companies choose the Principal for pension plans than any other life company. To secure your company's future, to get an advantage, get the Principal edge, the Principal Financial Group.
Back at the Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, 2 minutes remaining, and the Chicago Bears with one of the better defensive units in the NFL through the first 4 games. Trailing only Kansas City. There's Dave Wanstead, who of course was the defensive coordinator with the Cowboys before he took the head coaching job in Chicago. First down and 10, Philadelphia. Out of the shotgun, Bubby Brister escapes the tackle and goes deep for Calvin Williams. A flag is down behind the line of scrimmage, and it may be against the Eagles. Richard Dent is claiming he got held.
Yeah, I think Broderick Thompson got him. Talked to Thompson yesterday and asked him how many sacks he'd given up this year. He said none. I said, "You've been called for holding yet?" He said, "Nope."
Holding. Offense, number 76.
Well,
10-yard penalty.
He gave up a sack earlier to Dent, and now he gets his first holding call. And I'm sure he'll probably never talk to me again as long as he lives. He'll say, "I jinxed him." There's the hold. He prevented his quarterback from getting hit, and I'm sure Bubby appreciates at least that much.
Broderick Thompson acquired to replace Ron Heller at left tackle. Said he had never played that position before in his 8 years in the league, primarily on the right side. First and 20, Brister back. Picked up, intercepted by McMichael, and there's also a flag down. It was the pressure again of Richard Dent. And Steve McMichael, Mingo.
Downfield.
This one will stand, I think. It's going to be against the Eagles.
Pass interference. Number 65, blocking downfield. Penalties decline. First down, Bears.
Penalties against Ron Hallstrom. But watch as the pressure comes, as you said, from Dent. As he comes all the way around, he was in the playbook that time. They knew that this sprint out was coming. But I know this has got to be an NFL record. 2 defensive linemen intercepting passes in one game.
Dent and McMichael. And that is the second career interception for Steve McMichael. He had one in 1986. Here's Hayward to the 26-yard line. And instead of the Philadelphia Eagles grabbing some momentum in this game, the Chicago Bears can really put the Eagles in a hole.
It's almost as if Kotite feared that Bubby Brister would have this type of day. because he said, I don't want you to be Superman and try to make every play yourself. And it appears that that's what Brister is trying to do.
Harbaugh back across the middle, tipped and incomplete. William Thomas got a hand up and knocked it away from Craig Hayward.
And it's a good thing he did, because Hayward would have scored. Thomas laid out and tipped it away with his left hand. Ball was just a little bit behind Hayward. There he is in motion. Watch him come down to the inside, and that's just an outstanding play by Thomas. But the ball appeared to even bounce off of Ironhead, or is it Iron Hands?
There's Clyde Simmons. The Bears are an outstanding 6 of 9 on third down conversions. Here comes the blitz. Harbaugh chased by Thomas. It's intercepted by Seth Joyner. He laterals it back, and Byron Evans has it. First down, Eagles.
And I think Evans might have fumbled at the end of this play, and that's why you're seeing this skirmish. And what's Mark McMillan going to do? Is he going to go jump in there on the pile like a gnat? Conway says, get out of here. You got to be kidding me. It's the pressure by Thomas. We saw him in pass defense the previous play. Now he's blitzing Harbaugh from the left side of the screen. And Harbaugh really never sees Joyner, who makes a nice interception, and then while Gedney's trying to drag him down, he laterals it off to Byron Evans. And this is just what the Eagles needed, a turnover after a turnover.
It'll be first down, Philadelphia at the 39-yard line. There was no fumble. Eagles have the ball. Left side, caught. Michael Young, who was signed 3 days ago as a free agent, the former Los Angeles Ram and Denver Bronco.
Now Brister has 2 timeouts to work with, and he's letting a lot of time go off this clock, already inside 40 seconds.
Brister back, looking deep. Shovels the ball. Herschel Walker at the 47-yard line. And now we'll see if Philadelphia calls timeout. They do. The clock stops with 26 seconds remaining. Eagles trail by 17.
Your back works hard all day. You need Sealy Posturepedic support all night. Sealy's Sense and Response support system has patented coils. Unlike other premium coils, Sealy's gives easily at first for comfort. Then, as weight increases, it responds with increasing support, correct support. And only Sealy Posturepedic has this steel span foundation with steel beams, not wood. Posturepedic support, only from Sealy.
17-0 Chicago with 26 seconds remaining, but the Eagles threatening.
They have 2 timeouts to go, and they'd like to get Barr as close as possible for a field goal. Actually, they only have 1 timeout. But look at this. This is the wind at the top of the stadium, which is blowing left to right. But down on the field, and especially where this goalpost is, it's blowing right to left. So Barr told me before the game that he has a long field goal. He's going to almost have to aim outside the right post and hope for the wind to blow it between the posts.
At the very least, the Eagles would like to give Matt Barr a chance. They would love to have 7. Here's Brister. Darts out of bounds and kills the clock, but he lost a couple of yards.
Yeah, the amazing thing for the Eagles is they have not been able to get Calvin Williams involved in the plan so far today. He's got 4 touchdown receptions on the year and not a single catch so far.
Victor Bailey has only 1 catch so far. There's Matt Barr, signed a couple of weeks ago to replace Roger Ruzek.
He has a 54-yard career long, and that came 2 years ago.
2nd and 11. 3-man rush. Brister pressured. Armstrong makes the tackle at the 44. And Philadelphia uses its last timeout. The clock stops with only 9 seconds to go.
That's real smart defensive football by Wanstead and his staff. Rushing only 3, dropping off 8 guys into zones and just covering the entire field, giving Brister no place to throw the ball.
Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Jim and Terry will have all the scores and highlights, plus a preview of Game 5 of the American League Championship Series between Chicago and Toronto. First pitch at 4:10 this afternoon. Greg Gumbel and Jim Cott are in Toronto for that game. And then, of course, tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies are in Atlanta. And that game gets an 8 o'clock airtime with the first pitch at 8:29. Atlanta winning again last night. They have a 2-1 series lead over the Philadelphia Phillies.
It's been kind of a wild first half with the turnovers. The 2 interceptions, one by Dent, one by McMichael. A couple of injuries, a fumble by Brister. And the Eagles have just looked terrible. The Bears have played very good again on defense.
3rd and 6 with 9 seconds to go. They load up the right side, and Brister is going to have to scramble. Dante Jones gets the sack.
And
4th down. But time has expired. Well, if you're going to play professional athletics in Philadelphia,
you better get used to this sound.
That's a sound to which one grows accustomed. Dave Wanstead out urging his team on. They lead it by 17. We're at halftime. Jim and Terry are next. Ready for the start of the second half with the Chicago Bears kicking off to the Philadelphia Eagles. Von Hebron and Bai Sikahima will be the 2 deep men. Chris Gardocki will do the kickoff chores for the Bears, who lead it 17-0. They got a field goal, a touchdown pass from Harbaugh to Conway, and a touchdown run by Jim Harbaugh. And the Eagles have not threatened. They've also given the ball up 3 times. Here's Gardocki. And we're set to go. Each of the last 3 games, the Eagles have trailed by 10 or more and come back to win. See if they can equal that task today. Here's Sikahima. Bob Christian is there to make the tackle inside the 20-yard line at the 17.
The Bears talked about getting Conway involved. He has 2 catches today. One, of course, was that touchdown. That's really good, and Harbaugh's got 1 touchdown. The normal thing is that Hayward and Anderson are getting the ball. But for Philadelphia, this number here is just way too much. Brister's been going back in the pocket and running out of the pocket perhaps a little bit too soon. Those 4 carries, too much for a quarterback.
Here's Bubby Brister under David Alexander. Double tight end set with 1 running back. That's Herschel Walker. Walker gets by Trace Armstrong. Breaks another tackle and surges out to the 31-yard line. A gain of 14. Nice way to start the 3rd quarter for the Eagles.
Well, and Herschel's really been the bright spot for the Eagles. This is 71 yards now for him. And you mentioned how he breaks the tackle. Watch Armstrong come in and try to bring him down with 1 hand. He can't do that. Then he gets in behind his blockers. Carrier can't make the tackle, and Dante Jones is making a tackle 15 yards down the field.
And a 1st and 10 Philadelphia at the 31. Brister, 3rd option, right side. In front of Donnell Wolford. Tackle is made by Victor Bailey, his 2nd catch.
I don't know about you, Verne, but I heard somebody yelling, "Get rid of it, get rid of it." And I got to believe it had to be one of the Eagle coaches along the sidelines, because that's one thing Brister had not been doing in the first half, is getting rid of the ball.
Which one of the coaches?
It might have been that one right there.
2nd down. 17-0 Chicago. Richie Kotite chatting with us yesterday morning about the adversity. He said, hey, I had a brain tumor 12 years ago and overcame that, and all the rest of this is okay. Into the flat, Herschel Walker. That tackle made by Vincent Smith, the former Dallas Cowboy.
And I think Kotite's message to Brister at halftime may have been, hey, listen, get back in the pocket, read the defense, throw the ball. The last 2 plays, that's exactly what he's done, and they're moving the chains.
Well, we've talked a lot, Dan, about their ability to come from behind. Have you seen signs in the first half that they can do that today?
Well, I think the positive is Herschel Walker. I mean, he's running the ball well, but it comes back to number 6. Brister has to be able to perform, especially in these third down conversion situations.
They're 2 of 5 on third downs. Armstrong chases Brister, and he ran out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Oh, and he's going to hear it too. There's 65,000 coaches that are saying, get rid of it, get rid of it. 3rd and 3, and he takes a 2-yard loss by running out of bounds. Obviously thinking that he didn't want to risk throwing an interception.
My. End over end, Terry Obey at the 17. Over the shoulder catch. Herschel Walker was the first man down on special teams. Walker just missed, but he did slow him up, and Derek Oden makes the tackle. Hasn't been a banner day if your name is Bubby.
Recently, we invited Mazda, Acura, Porsche, all car companies to compare their sports cars with our new Firebird formula to see who could match our standard driver and passenger airbags, standard anti-lock brakes, and 275 horsepower engine, and do it for even twice the price of this new Firebird. No one could. No one. This is the new standard for sports car safety, performance, and value.
I don't get it. Some guy bats .228 and makes $3 million bucks.
Can you imagine what Willie Mays would be worth today?
Yeah.
No holiday sweepstakes.
Another Heineken, right?
Yeah, please.
No blimp with our name on it. No racing team.
Hey, Mays.
None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
Where's all that money come from?
Ticket prices.
Yeah, I guess.
And all those beer commercials.
I ordered pepperoni and onions on this pizza. I can't taste them. I can't even see them. They're just cut small. Small? How small?
So small they can't be seen by the naked eye.
Want big toppings? Introducing the new Chunky-style pizza from Pizza Hut. It's got big chunks of meat and vegetables for taste you can actually see.
What's new from Xerox? Xerox Extreme 450 antifreeze and a new 4-year guarantee. We've taken our promise to extremes. For the next 4 years or the next 50,000 miles, we guarantee the temperature never drops below Xerox.
They were booing Bubby as he went off the field, but let's look at it. These are 2 receivers here and 1 right here. The first thing that happens is that Armstrong forces Brister to go deeper than he wanted to, and then of those 3 receivers, he has nobody that he can throw the ball to. This is too difficult to throw to these 2 guys all the way across the field, and this man at the top of the screen is covered.
Bubby Brister absolved. First down. Harbaugh chased, comes right, goes deep, intercepted by Wes Hopkins. Bad throw by Harbaugh. Hopkins gets the pick. No, now they're saying incomplete.
Hey, he laid on the ground a long time with his back to us, so you had to feel that he was trying to get a handle on the ball. The referees came in real late to rule this incomplete. Harbaugh does a nice job of avoiding the sack and getting away from pressure, but this is one of those cardinal sins of playing quarterback. Never throw late over the middle. Tough to tell from that whether Hopkins had it or not. The officials that called it were down the field.
Well, with no instant replay in effect to overrule it, here's Hayward on second down, breaking through left tackle and moving it out to the 37-yard line.
Talked about how Jennings is going to help the Bears running the ball wide. See, they've had a lot of success. This is a 7.5-yard average out here, and not much other success either up the middle or to the right side.
Chicago Bear brain trust, Ron Turner on the left, offensive coordinator. 3rd down and 3. Hayward, 1st down Bears to the 43-yard line. It was Neil Anderson, 35 instead of 45. Well, although I'm not going to be forgiven for mistaking Neil Anderson for Craig Hayward.
Now you got the 5 part right on the uniform.
Neil Anderson wants to talk to me immediately.
This 5 is a little bit more stretched out.
Yes, it is. There's no excuses offered.
Not many fullbacks wear their waist size as their football jersey number.
1st down and 10. Neil Anderson, 35 to the 45-yard line. 17-0. Chicago Giants rolling over Washington. Philadelphia goes to New York next week. Dan and I will be there for that one. Dallas trying to get to 3-2 and right back in the thick of things if they win today. Minnesota over Tampa Bay. Vince Glenn with 2 more. And what sad news this is. Dan Marino lost for the year with a torn right Achilles tendon.
Terrible, terrible loss to a great player.
And a terrible loss to the league. Harbaugh goes by Joyner. Hopkins gets him around the ankle. And he's down at the 41-yard line, but he picks up 14.
Harbaugh scored already today on a real gutty attempt at the corner of the end zone. He's running the ball well. That's 2 other carries for him now. 14 yards that time.
And a 17-0 Chicago lead. Hayward and Christian are in the lineup now.
You just get the feeling from the Eagles that maybe their magic is just gone. Their comeback is going to be extremely tough today.
Quick screen, Conway, left side. William Thomas up around the head to make the tackle on Curtis Conway. One reason they wanted to get Curtis Conway involved is because of his terrific speed, and they've not had many yards after the catch. They're hopeful that he can give them that.
That's why they throw those little screens to those great athletes like Conway. Get him the ball out in the open field, get a couple of blockers in front of him, and then turn them loose.
2nd down and 7. Anderson to the 34-yard line.
You're seeing again for the Eagles, their secondaries being forced to make too many tackles. Getting banged up along that defensive line, and big hitters Hopkins and Miano are in on almost every tackle now.
Well, interesting too, Dan, when you've got the Chicago offense and the Eagle defense in 1993, you're talking about weakness against weakness and not strength and strength.
Yeah, and I think the turnovers have made the Bears feel that perhaps they're the better team today.
3rd and 4, Harbaugh. Chased right. And he dived for the 1st down and apparently didn't quite get it at the 31-yard line. Now Harbaugh and McMillan again. He's a feisty one, Mark McMillan.
Well, at least Harbaugh is using his head and picking on the smallest guy out there. I'm not too sure about picking a fight on the Eagles sideline, though.
4th and 1.
And the Bears are going to go for it.
Britt Hager comes in, number 54. Hayward and Anderson in the backfield. 4th and 1, 17-0 timeout called by Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh and Dave Wanstead will chat on the sideline. The Bears call time with 8:09 remaining, 3rd quarter.
Tonight's top story, storms on the East Coast causing delays up and down the entire eastern seaboard.
No, my plane's stuck somewhere back east.
Your flight has been canceled. The 5 most hated words of every business traveler. It's an absolutely guaranteed instant headache. You're just suddenly helpless. On a day like this, I know it's not the airline's fault. That's not the point. I'm just looking for some answers. I want somebody to tell me my options.
Los Angeles at 7 p.m.
I just want somebody to tell me when I can get out of
See if
here.
we can reroute you to another city.
Those are the people I come back to. They try and find a way and make it happen. They give me my best option, maybe even on another airline. I appreciate that, because, you know, a little honesty goes a long way. Tell Billy to look for me at halftime. I'll be there.
What a day for a daydream.
A new look, impossible to resist. The rush of a powerful V6 engine, superb control and handling, even the safety of driver and passenger airbags. This stuff of dreams? Not anymore.
Like it? Loved it.
What a day for a daydream.
The new Grand Prix Sport Coupe.
Do you want to get rich?
$2 million.
Do you want to get even?
I hope it breaks the state.
See you in court. An all-new 48 Hours Wednesday.
17-0 Chicago. They face a fourth and less than a yard. Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, seen his team ripped apart with departures through free agency, and now the Eagle defense faces a severe test. Fourth and about 1.5 feet on the 9th play of this Chicago drive. That's Gedney in motion. Anderson comes right. Don't know. Do not know. The Eagles think they've held.
They think they got good enough penetration to force Anderson to bounce it to the outside, and then it looked like he lost his footing. And to get a measurement that will only delay the obvious, because both teams have already changed units on the field. You can hear Brister's greeting from this crowd. Yeah, way short. The real key to this play was the play of Seth Joyner as he came off the corner. Closest to you right here. Watch Joyner's penetration as he beats Wojo across the line and gets inside there. And there's just no place for Anderson to go. Excellent penetration by Millard as well.
So Bud Carson's defense equal to the task, and a first down now with Bubby Brister handing it off to Herschel Walker. And Dante Jones, number 53, is a part of that tackle. Dante Jones, who is occupying a position held with such talent by Mike Singletary over the years. 5 years, Dante Jones was a backup to Mike Singletary.
He said that Singletary has helped him as far as playing behind him, studying his study habits and his practice habits, both on and off the field. Singletary was an excellent example of how to play the position.
2nd down and 9. Here's Brister. Flips it left side. Oh, boy! Mark Carrier had it in his mitts. And Brister gets it in his ears.
Yeah, and the mitts just weren't good enough to make this grab. Watch Carrier right here as he's got his eyes on the quarterback. He's going to break in front of the receiver, and if he makes this catch, he's in the end zone. Brister looking that way the whole way, and Carrier drops a sure interception.
Well, Bubby Brister was the darling of the radio talk shows in Philadelphia during this past week. I don't think he'll be tuning in this coming week unless things change. 3rd and 9. Right side. Oh, boy. He laid Calvin Williams out to dry that time, and Mark Carrier passed on a shot. Carrier could have gone right at the ribs.
Yeah, and you wonder how much that fine to Chuck Cecil and Phoenix affects a player like Mark Carrier. Or maybe Carrier was just thinking about going for the ball instead, but that ball wasn't anywhere close to the receiver.
Here's Jeff Feagles on to punt. It's a good one. Terry Obie with a fair catch makes the grab at the 21.5-yard line. We've got 7:11 remaining in the third quarter of play. It's 17-0 Chicago, and they've got the ball.
Hold on. I don't just overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnight it.
Might as well overnight it.
Overnight this.
Overnight that. Overnight.
Overnight. Overnight.
Sometimes overnight is overkill. So kick the habit with Priority Mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop. That's special delivery. That's Enterprise.
Hi there, I'm Dave Thomas, and I'd like one of those Monterey Ranch chicken sandwiches, please.
Hi, I'm Dave Thomas.
I'd like a Monterey Ranch
Chicken sandwich.
When we stopped making our Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich, people tried everything to get one. Well, it's back, so now you can just be yourself.
Hi, I'm Dave Thomas.
Highway 421 near Spivey's Corner, North Carolina. Not exactly the place you expect to find a busy accounting firm like Duval & Dean. But thanks to Sprint Cellular and their car, Duval & Dean can handle clients clear across the state and still be there to take calls no matter where they are. There's one other advantage to doing business at 55 miles per hour. There's no fighting over who gets the window office.
Next Sunday on CBS, it's the Eagles and the Giants, then the 49ers and the Cowboys.
Bless you. He's a big fan.
A couple of years ago, this man burst into national prominence with a virtuoso performance in a Monday night game, and he is now widely regarded as one of the better outside linebackers in the game, trying to hold this Eagle defense together.
And the Eagles really need him to.
Here's Hayward. Ken O'Brien, by the way, is the backup quarterback, just signed this week. He was released by the Green Bay Packers, the former Jet who played in New York while Richie Kotite was there as the offensive coordinator.
And he has really impressed both Kotite and Zeke Bratkowski, the quarterback coach, with his ability to pick up this offense. But the Eagles cannot afford to see this again. This is Keith Millard down on the field. He came into the game with a bad elbow and bad knee, and of course his career with the Vikings was ended with a knee injury. Has struggled to get back. And I just can't believe it, Verne.
Yet one more. Clyde Simmons, of course, went out with a knee injury earlier, but he is back in. Well, our 17-0 score has stood since halftime with 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Cowboys were leading 14-3. Let's see how they're doing. Here's Jim Nantz.
All right, Verne, watch the holder. Cowboys set up for a field goal. Jay Novacek will take the snap, and he'll walk right in. Touchdown on the fake field goal, and it's the Cowboys 21-3, 5 and change left in the third quarter. Back to Verne and Dan.
Okay, Jimmy, recall last week when Jimmy Johnson ordered an onside kick after they went up 10-7? They'll do things with special teams.
Their coach, Joe Avesano, is a former special teams coach of the year, and the Cowboys are really rolling. When you can have success with your trick plays and your trick plays on special teams, that's when you know you got a good football team.
Millard able to walk off by himself. We'll get a report. And for those of you in Chicago, we still have not gotten any update on Wendell Davis, injured in the first half. Trying to get further word. We were last told it was an injured left knee. Here's the shot taken by Tom Waddle, who fights off Eric Allen, and that's a gain to the 43-yard line.
And Allen is saying, hey, ref, didn't you see me return that 94-yard interception last week? I've scored 2 touchdowns this year on interceptions. And that's Tom Waddle. He's not supposed to be able to beat me deep. He was pushing on me. He was tugging at me. 29-yard gain for Waddle. And the Bears are making big plays on offense today.
And we do have an update on Wendell Davis. Get to it after this play. First down and 10. Play action. Harbaugh goes deep for Waddle and overthrows him. It's incomplete. The word from the bench now is just confirmation that their are injuries to both knees for Wendell Davis, but that's all we've been told.
And anybody will tell you that AstroTurf is a good surface to play this type of sport on is nuts. That was an AstroTurf injury to both knees of Wendell Davis. Non-contact, just going for the ball, trying to make a catch. This is the worst surface in the world to play a game like football on.
They hand it off to Neil Anderson. I've never heard a player disagree with you, not one. But I've never heard an owner say, let's get rid. Well, there are a few, but most of the owners won't get rid of it.
Well, in Chicago, they got rid of it.
Right.
And that was a great move. You never hear anybody saying, geez, let's put that AstroTurf back in Soldier Field. They got rid of it in Candlestick Park, and nobody said, hey, let's put that AstroTurf back. People like grass to see their games played on, and players love to play on grass.
Ron Heller left the Philadelphia Eagles to go to Miami so he could play on grass. Flag is down. Harbaugh is tackled by Millard, and he's going to get a flag.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he does this all the time, too. He's either got to get his the wax cleaned out of his ears so he can hear the whistle. We had a referee throw a flag and then throw his hat. The hat was the second penalty. He's going to have to carry a spare flag for Millard.
False start. Number 69 of the offense. Penalties declined. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 77 of the defense. 15 yards. First down.
Well, how can they decline the false start penalty? If there's a false start, well, wait a minute. It's not declined. That's a dead ball foul, is it not?
Absolutely.
False start? Yes.
And the whistle is blown, and Millard did this last week to Boomer Esiason and got called for it. And right in front of the referee, Dale Hamer, gets called for it again. Crucial mistake by Keith Millard.
Millard, who had the bruised back and was out for just a couple of plays. And now it's first down and 10, Chicago, with 5:08 remaining. Third quarter of play. Conway comes in motion near side. Harbaugh hands it off. And Neil Anderson takes it around the right side down to the 25-yard line, maybe the 24. Seth Joyner makes the tackle.
If ever a team needed a turnover, it's the Eagles right now. Millard is an unhappy camper and fired up. Watch him right here, number 77. Stand up Verne Smith and then work his way to the outside. He shoves Smith out of the way and then throws an elbow at Anderson.
Little knee. Second down and 8. 17-0. Harbaugh caught. Fumble. Recovered by Philadelphia.
William Thomas got the hit, the blindside shot. And the Eagles get that turnover. Watch from the left side of the screen here. A free run on the quarterback there. The ball is loose.
May have been Andy Harmon who got it.
Looked like 91 flew through the air to dive on this one. There he is, Harmon, for the recovery. And unfortunately for the Eagle fans, Brister's still at quarterback.
They don't like it. Turnovers are now even at 3-3. Bubby Brister has not had a good day. And he played so well last week against the New York Jets. Here's play action. Brister back. Fires it out to Bavaro. Ron Cox is in there and makes the tackle, number 54.
Yeah, this is really a smart move by Brister and Bratkowski. You got to go with players like Bavaro, and you also have to do this. Go to your no-huddle offense. This will hopefully get Brister into a better rhythm.
William Perry in at right defensive tackle now. And here's Herschel Walker out near the 40-yard line. That's short of the first down. Tim Ryan, number 99, makes the tackle.
Kotite says he likes to use this no huddle because it breaks down a defense's resistance. It forces the defense to make adjustments and calls on the run. But now you see the Eagles are in a 3rd and short situation. They go away from the no huddle. They go back, bring in bigger personnel to run the ball on this down and go away from the no huddle.
3rd and 1. Backs in the eye. Joseph in motion. Vaughn Hebron. First down, Philadelphia at the 43. Dante Jones makes the tackle.
And Brister's going to get him right to the line of scrimmage. Go right back to the no huddle. The thing about this type of offense is it's a better way of handling the 40-second clock, which has given a lot of teams problems. But also, the longer the drive goes, the more effective it is for the offense.
We've got 2:32 remaining, 3rd quarter. Brister, short setup. Comes left. Overthrows Bavaro, who is wide open. Difficult throw. Brister coming to his left, and he lost his shoe in the process.
Somebody stepped on his heel. Maybe that's why the ball was overthrown.
It'll be 2nd down. There are the numbers for Bubby Brister. 2 interceptions, one by Dent and the other by McMichael.
And he just does not look comfortable at all, aside from that first drive of the game that ended with Dent's interception. He's been kind of jittery in the pocket, and when he's been forced to throw on the run, he hasn't found anybody open, or he hasn't been able to hit him.
2nd and 10. Johnson in motion, number 87. Brister got him, and it's going to be Chicago ball.
Blindside shot by Ron Cox on the blitz. He's just going to drill Brister in the back. This is a short setup by Brister. Can't find his initial target, and now he just takes the helmet right in the back, and the ball comes loose. Got to get rid of it right there. Never saw him coming.
And players are down for Philadelphia. It's Bubby Brister. Again, the backup for Brister is Ken O'Brien. Signed earlier this week. He is familiar to a degree with Richie Kotite's offense. We'll see if he comes in when we come back.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
As this is said to be the decade families will be hunting for real value, Volvo thought it best to make that search a little easier. Introducing Volvo Affordable Pricing. Available on new 1994 cars, it's Volvo's way of hitting families right where it helps.
See this as direct mail, or see it as a document and add the impact of color. One company increased response by 25%. See your documents differently. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX, the document company.
Americans have always had a love affair with their cars. And when it comes to plugs and filters, we guarantee to keep that spark going for a long, long time.
Yeah, who do you love?
Bubby Brister shaken up on the last play. And let's go back and take a look at that fumble.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a fumble or not. He might have landed on the ball. That's why they're looking at him. But the ball was out before he hit it. He came right down on top of the ball, so it looked like he might not have fumbled.
Well, in these days of non-instant replay, it goes as a turnover. And here's Hayward with Jay Lewinberg trying to help out, number 58. Lewinberg, you know, Dan, we talked about the offensive line not playing that well for Chicago in the first 4 games. Today, they've acquitted themselves quite well.
And Lewinberg is, he's not your ideal physical specimen to play this position. But when you talk to the coaches about Lewinberg, that, you know, the one ideal attribute he has is toughness.
It's second down. Blitz. Harbaugh reads it, gets rid of it, incomplete. Third down. Curtis Conway, the intended receiver.
Yeah, and it was little Mark McMillan who just stripped the ball from Conway. Really got to admire a guy of this size playing as difficult an individual position as there is in football. Only 5'6" and about 160 pounds. Came up big, that one.
Played, of course, for Gene Stallings at Alabama. I remember when he came to the Eagles last year, how highly regarded he became early on. Just a matter of playing at 5'7". Harbaugh going deep for Conway. Over the 5'7". And the ball is dropped. Or stripped. I'm not sure which. McMillan will say, obviously, it was stripped.
There was a lot of contact, too, from the 10-yard line on in. McMillan had his hands all over Conway. This was an easier try for Conway than the touchdown catch he had earlier today. In fact, they're battling pretty good here. And that's a great job of sticking out that left hand just in time.
Gardocki. Fair catch called at the 15 by Vi Sikahima. Philadelphia Eagles get the ball, and they trail 17-0.
They say Mozart composed from midnight to 7 a.m. Hemingway was at his best before noon. Edison inspired by the dark. At Compaq, we understand that ideas aren't governed by a clock. That's why we're standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to answer your computing questions. Galileo, definitely a night person. The 24-hour helpline from Compaq.
This may seem like any other day, but it's not. Because now people will be able to talk to one another in a brand new way. That's because across the U.S. and Canada, leading cellular communications companies have joined together to create MobileLink, a new standard in cellular service. So now, whenever you need to stay in touch, MobileLink will make it as simple as a phone call. MobileLink.
Hello? I'm glad you called.
It's simply the way to communicate. To order, call 1-800-995-4000.
There are times you can feel your body heat rising. Fortunately, there's Degree Antiperspirant. It's body heat activated. Every time your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection.
Great, you made it.
Degree, your body heat turns it on.
Numbers I like to share.
I ordered pepperoni and onions on this pizza. I can't taste them. I can't even see them. They're just cut small. Small? How small?
So small they can't be seen by the naked eye.
Want big toppings? Introducing the new Chunky-style pizza from Pizza Hut. It's got big chunks of meat and vegetables for taste you can actually see.
1:20 remaining third quarter. Chicago leading by a 17-0 count. That was our halftime score. Take a look at Mike Shadd. Now the left guard of the Philadelphia Eagles, a one-time #1 draft choice of the Los Angeles Rams, who played collegiately at Queens College in Kingston, Ontario. He's one of many new members of this Philadelphia team. They've gone the unrestricted free agent route in terms of claiming guys who had been let loose by other teams. Shadd, one of them. Bobby Brister, another, and he is in at quarterback. First down. Herschel Walker out to the 20. Mike Shadd, who has an engaging kind of personality and made up a list he called the Pros Pro. And here's how he defines the Pros Pro, Dan.
Well, you got to be at least in your 30s. And then you got to have been cut by an NFL team. And you've got to have had a serious injury and recovered. You've got to have taken a pay cut. And there's one more.
In the meantime, it's second down. And finally, there is a fifth.
You made a team that really didn't want you to make the team. And according to Mike Shadd, he's got a few members of that pros club on this football team.
Tom McHale was saying yesterday that he belongs. Rod Thompson said he belongs.
And they looked across the room. They saw Matt Barr. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he'll work. Ken O'Brien, hey, we got a brand new guy. Just came in this week.
Ron Hallstrom.
Yeah, there's a few of those guys.
Letterman just called. Said for Shadd and you and me to keep our day jobs. That's the end of the third quarter with our score, the Chicago Bears 17. The undefeated Philadelphia Eagles nothing. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
Shopping. 9 out of 10 use it. All aboard! The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages from Bell Atlantic.
Golfers just love punishment. That's all there is to it. If he plays around here, he's in every water hazard, every bunker. But should he hit the ball from the tee to the green on the 17th hole, that's the only shot he's going to ever remember. I can't explain it, but that's golf. The American Express card is welcomed at all these TPC golf clubs, and it does just as much for the bad golfer as it does for the good golfer.
American Express is welcomed at all kinds of golf courses. No wonder the card is green.
My years in football taught me the value of a great health plan. Hello, I'm Dick Vermeil. Everyday life has its bumps and bruises, too. And that's why Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield have added the new personal choice to our game plan.
There's no need to enroll with a primary care physician, and you don't need a referral to see a specialist. Office visits are covered, and there are no claim forms. Now, what could be easier?
Call 1-800-ASK-BLUE for all the benefits of personal choice. The health plan that controls cost, not people.
The Phillies take on the Braves tonight at 8 on Channel 10.
We begin the final 15 with the Chicago Bears leading 17-0. Verne Lundquist and Dan Fouts. And shots from overhead, powered by twin Porsche engines and filled with 235,000 cubic feet of helium. The Bud 1 airship is piloted by Mike Hansen and Steve Woods, with camera operator George Schaafsma aboard.
It's my favorite brand of blimp. Verne.
Third down. And here's the handoff to Walker. He did not get the first down. It'll be fourth down, and the Eagles will be forced to punt. Tackle made by Dante Jones, number 53. Dante Jones, who graduated from the University of Oklahoma and who was more than mildly interested in the Texas OU outcome yesterday. That game was not televised in this part of the country. Dante Jones was wearing a pager, and his girlfriend was back in Dallas. Here comes the attempt for the block, and they don't get it. And the ball will go by Terry Obie, and he'll let it come to a rest and stop at the 33-yard line. So every time the score would change down in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl, Dante Jones' girlfriend would call the paging number. He'd get a beep and told us during the middle of our meeting, hey, it's 10-0. The Sooners are up.
And the girlfriend is his fiancée now, Pam, and you know that he's going to be wearing that pager for the rest of his life. Maurice Douglas almost gets this one. Watch the layout from the right side of the screen. Great effort, and just missed it by a fingernail, maybe.
Bears take over, first down at their own 33-yard line. Play action. Harbaugh runs it, and Joyner is right with him as they go out of bounds. Chicago started out the year losing to the New York Giants at home. lost to Minnesota on the road, both of those close games. Then they blasted Tampa Bay by taking advantage of 7 turnovers and won last week 6-0. Dave Wanstead with 2 victories now and 2 defeats in his first year as the Bears head coach. 2nd and 6, 17-0. Blitz. Hayward.
The Bears' main goal today was to try and get some big plays by opening up their offense, and they've done a pretty good job of it. The big part of it, though, is after you get after the 10 yards, we saw the touchdown to Conway, but this is real good. 50% throwing before the 20-yard line, and then going on down the field, they've picked up 61 yards looking for the big play.
And they lead it 17-0, 3rd and 5. Harbaugh back. Caught short. Tripped up by Keith Millard, number 77, and the Bears will punt it away.
And that was another big play by the Eagle defense. They desperately needed to get the ball back to their offense. They're going to have any chance trailing by 17 with just under 13 minutes to go. Millard provided the big play that time.
That brings on Gardocki. Poor punt by Chris Gardocki, but it gets a good Chicago roll. And Sikahima, oh, what a roll. Well, he'll be talking about that for the rest of the week. You should have seen the terrific punt I had that was down inside the 6. A 51-yard punt for Chris Gardocki. About 40 on the roll. Timeout.
Every time Mercedes-Benz introduces a new car, other car companies rush to follow. And when Mercedes-Benz introduces a whole class of new cars, others scramble to catch up. Now Mercedes-Benz is introducing the new E-Class, featuring the powerful E420 V8. Other car companies may find this one even harder to follow.
Cops don't come tougher than Ned Ravine.
Police emergency, I need the vehicle. Don't be a fool!
But Ned has a soft spot. Women. And falling for this woman could be fatal. Fatal instinct.
Hey, you guys watch your step in here. There's a lot of blood.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, October 29th.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil in every grade meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. Why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Try Castrol Super Clean for tough, greasy jobs. If it won't come clean with Super Clean, it won't come clean.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
10 Chicago points off turnovers. The Eagles have won 11 straight at home. They're getting into desperate straits now, trailing by 17 in the total yardage for Chicago's somewhat dormant offense, which was ranked 27th out of 28 teams in the league coming in. They've got 250 yards so far.
It's that defense. Dent picking one off, McMichael picking one off, and 2 Brister fumbles.
And now the Eagles inside their own 6 with Bubby Brister. 9 of 16 for a modest 51 yards. Play action. Flips it out. Caught by his tight end, Maurice Johnson. And he's popped by Sean Gale up high and Joe Kane down low. And knocked out of bounds.
He was really drilled. The old 1-2 shot there. Look at the Giants on top of Washington and Dallas ahead of Indianapolis. You know, the Eagles got to go up to the Meadowlands next weekend to play that Giant team, and what a surprise they are.
Well, Philadelphia has not only won 11 in a row at home, they have won their last 8 regular season games. 4 this year, 4 at the end of last year. Blitz. Brister. Caught by Calvin Williams. That's his first catch of the day.
And we talked about how Brister hasn't been able to find Williams. His other wide receiver, Victor Bailey, only has 2 catches on the afternoon. He's got to start going to those 2 guys in a big hurry. They're down by 17.
First and 10 at the 35. 11:30 remaining in the game. 17-0. Chicago leads. Bears trying to go 3-2. Left side this time. And on the break, Brister and Bailey can't team up. Anthony Blaylock defending on the play. Well, coming up next, baseball playoffs. The Chicago White Sox, winners on the road of 2, are at Toronto for Game 5. That series is tied at 2-2. Chicago and Toronto next, and then later tonight, it'll be Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. The Philadelphia Phillies at the Atlanta Braves. That's at 8 o'clock tonight with the first pitch scheduled for 8:29. Brister, right side, caught by Williams. Donnell Wolford with the tackle. First down at the 50-yard line.
You see Anton Davis picking Brister up off the ground because Brister just got drilled in the back by Richard Dent. A half-second too late for the Bears. Brister's best pass of the day as the Eagles get close to midfield and pick up the first down. Watch Dent, 95, come all the way around. Good job by the quarterback stepping up in that pocket and getting rid of it.
Eagles have moved 44 yards out to midfield now, trailing by 17. Walker. Herschel Walker's 14th carry of the ball game. Modest yardage this team, maybe this time, maybe 3 or 4.
And he's really been the whole answer on the ground for the Eagles today. Remember, Heath Sherman did not play because of an injury. Von Hebron's only got 6 yards on 2 carries, so it's been Herschel Walker that's had to carry the ball.
Clock shows 10:20 remaining in the game. 2nd and 7. Audible now as the Bears change their defense. They are not blitzing. It's an unusual defense that had Tim Ryan down in the line coming back on pass coverage along with McMichael, and then the linebackers blitzing, and Calvin Williams makes the grab.
Bears had a lot of success last week against Atlanta, faking the blitz and then dropping out of it. This is a good move by the Eagles now to go to that no-huddle offense. They got to get things moving.
Clock shows 9:35 remaining. Brister with a check with me, calls the play at the line. Right side. By far the most impressive Philadelphia drive of the ball game.
You just wonder if it's going to be a little bit too late for the Eagles. Brister's been under a lot of pressure. 5 sacks, which is the most the Eagles have given up in one game this year. And look at all the knockdowns. 12 knockdowns. That will make sure you have a day in the hot tub tomorrow.
2nd and short. Walker to the 25, down to the 24-yard line. That's another Eagle first down. Tim Ryan makes the tackle, number 99. Walker getting close to his first 100-yard day of this season. 89 yards, his best effort so far in 93. 1st and 10, Eagles, 17-0. Chicago leads. Brister chased by Zorich. Flag is down, and Brister throws it away. They may bring this one back and call holding. Clock stopped with 8 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the ball game.
The timing of the Eagle offense has just been off today. That was supposed to be a quicker release pass, and the linemen were anticipating
holding. Number 79 of the offense, 10 yards, still first down.
You got a feel for Mike Shad. He felt that the ball should have been thrown from a certain area on the field. Brister rolled out trying to buy some more time, and Shad had to reach out and grab somebody. To see they're just kind of out of sync.
Sounds like an aberration of a phone campaign. 17-0. First and 20. Walker out of the backfield to the left. Brister comes right. Fires it to Williams. He may have been across the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely across the line of scrimmage.
Bring it back. And then listen to the chorus.
You got to know where you are on the field. Unusual formation with 4 Eagles here at the top of the screen. But check out where the line of scrimmage is. It's about the 34, which is right about here. And let's see where he lets this one go. Right about the 33.
Number 65 was illegally downfield. That foul was negated because we had an illegal forward pass by the quarterback, number 6, throwing the ball after he had crossed the line of scrimmage. 5 yards, penalty, loss of down. Second down.
That's probably more than we needed to know.
Yeah, well, you know, I know that Hallstrom's glad that his penalty was negated.
Exactly. Rather than expanded.
I thought it was just that he was over the line of scrimmage, and that was it. The big thing about that penalty is you lose a down. Not only do you lose the 5-yard penalty, you lose the down as well.
Saw the graphic on the Chicago defense. 8:20 remaining in the ball game. Second down at 24. Walker goes left. Again, the 4-man rush. Here comes Richard Dent. Got him. Dent down around the ankles. He'll get at least a half a sack, and Steve McMichael will get the other half of it. And each of them already with an interception today. Roderick Thompson gives up his second sack of the day.
Yeah, it's the old 1-2 shot. Bears just been doing this well all year, getting pressure on the quarterback. They came into the game with 13 sacks after getting 3 against Atlanta last week. Now they have 6 today.
And it's 3rd and 32. Clock is still running with 7:42 remaining in the game.
The important thing for Brister is get half of it back now, and maybe we'll go for it on 4th down.
Got a chance. Victor Bailey. And that's at the 21.
Bailey intercepts this pass intended for Calvin Williams, Verne. I guarantee you, this is Bailey on the outside. Here's Williams hooking. Bailey goes over across the middle, and he's going to pick this one off.
Is there any reason they should both be in that area?
Well, you got to feel that they're just trying to get something to happen to find an open area on the field. They both found the same open area.
Well, they got more than half. They got 25 yards. It's 4th and 7. Blitz coming. Brister tipped away. Maurice Douglas, number 37. Intended for Calvin Williams, and Chicago takes over on down.
What an excellent example of a bend but don't break defense. The Bears gave up the big play on 3rd down, but on 4th down, Maurice Douglas turns the Eagles back.
Okay, lose competition or bowling?
Luge. Bowling.
Okay, we'll watch bowling.
Miller Lite presents Luge Bowling. Cool. Boy, is he fast.
He better be, Bob, because here come those bowling balls.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything.
He's got the angle. Oh, no, it's a 7-10 split.
Oh, nice pickup.
Great taste, less filling. Can your baby do this?
Buttery soft leather seats, designed to withstand 30-mile-an-hour rear impacts. An adjustable steering wheel wrapped in leather, mounted on an energy-absorbing column. And exotic wood trim, layered with aluminum to prevent splintering. Unlike some other cars, at Mercedes-Benz, luxury is more than a mere facade.
See these as catalogs and print them in a month. See them as documents and print them electronically in days. It saved one company $350,000 a year. See your documents differently. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX, the document company.
Double header. I'm hungry. That goes double for me. McDonald's, I'm the double.
Thanks to McDonald's Double Plays, you can get 2 double cheeseburgers for $2 or 2 triple cheeseburgers for $3.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, and performance are never optional. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? McDonald's, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by Castro Super Clean. If it won't come clean with Super Clean, it won't come clean.
Yeah.
Back to play with 6:50 remaining in the ball game. The Chicago Bears taking over on downs, first down and 10. This is Curtis Conway in motion wide to the left. Craig Hayward out near the 23-yard line. We've talked so much about the problems Bubby Brister has been having. A lot of those problems forced by the Chicago defense, Dan, that is working on its second shutout in succession.
And it's a defense that's totally different than it was last year. Wanstead came in and gave the Bears that Dallas type of defense where the defensive linemen such as McMichael and Dent are told to penetrate, get across the line of scrimmage and create havoc. And then it's excellent team speed and linebackers and defensive backs that have to cover up after that.
Here's Harbaugh handing it off to Neil Anderson. He is bounced backwards at the 20 and knocked down at the 21. Keith Millard and Wes Hopkins. Giants with a big lead, and so Dallas now. Emmitt Smith over 100 yards for the first time this season. Minnesota leads over Tampa Bay. The Bears with a victory today can climb into a tie with Tampa at 3-2, with Minnesota at 3-2. Kansas City with the edge over Cincinnati.
And as the Bears look forward this year, they get a week off next week.
There's 5 more field goals.
I was trying to ignore that, Verne.
Knowing how fond you've become in this current trend in the NFL, I thought we would point out that Pelfrey has 5.
Yeah, Pelfrey. Bats in the Pelfrey.
Time has been called. Well, Bob Slowick came with Dave Wanstead as the defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bear team, and they posted a shutout against the Atlanta Falcons last week, 6-0. I don't think you put a shutout over Atlanta in the same category as shutting out the Philadelphia Eagles, though, even though Randall Cunningham is injured.
Well, what Wanstead wanted to do was to stop the run of the Eagles and make Brister beat them, and Brister hasn't been up to that today.
There's the handoff, and Keith Millard with another tackle. Matter of fact, you asked Dave Wanstead what the key to a victory by Chicago would be today, and his precise words were, put the game in Bubby Brister's hands and make Bubby Brister beat us.
And on offense, make the big plays. It's worked perfectly for Wanstead this afternoon.
By Sikahema. Flag is down. Bring it back. As Gardaki's punt.
5.5 minutes to go.
Number 91 of the offense, 5 yards.
This will back the Bears up a little bit, and you know that special teams coach of the Eagles, Larry Pasquale there, has got something up his sleeve. Remember, there's been a couple of low snaps to Gardaki in punt formation. I would look for the Eagles to come after him, try to block one.
Gardaki gets rid of it. Sikahema has to make a fair catch, though, because Robert Green was right in his face. Eagles take over. They've got the ball at their own 49. They trail by 17.
A look behind the scenes as sports and science converge, brought to you by AT&T. Football players who must undergo rehabilitation now have an alternative method of therapy. 3 NFL teams, including the Cleveland Browns, rely on hydrotherapy to help get their injured players back on the field more quickly. The current in the flume can be increased to provide more resistance for the injured limb or joint. Underwater, the athlete's weight is greatly reduced, allowing him to support his body during the workout.
Fred's my AT&T sales rep.
The country gives me the creeps, but I came out here to tell Jan about AT&T's Maximum Advantage.
Everything about it is simple, except running it.
Maximum Advantage doesn't work for you. You're automatically enrolled. You get AT&T's best service at our lowest price guaranteed. We'll look at your calling patterns quarterly and make new recommendations. Jan, with our international fax and calling plans for our 800 service, you could be hosting the whole world that you're in.
Hi.
We're the Raskins.
Ah, welcome.
Fred really knows my business. I'm sure I could get him up here full time.
Every time Mercedes-Benz introduces a new car, other car companies rush to follow. And when Mercedes-Benz introduces a whole class of new cars, others scramble to catch up. Now Mercedes-Benz is introducing the new E-Class, featuring the powerful E420 V8. Other car companies may find this one even harder to follow.
Young Buzz. The pass to Harper. Harper off to the races. Our doubleheader next week, the rematch, the 49ers and the Cowboys. Here's Brister, sacked for the 7th time. And Richard Dent has 2.5 of them.
And he added an exclamation to that sack, Verne. Threw Brister down with disdain. 7 sacks on the game for the Bears.
Richard Dent. Roderick Thompson, who had not given up a pass. Now Alonzo Spellman is injured and limping toward the sideline. Well, those of you who are of a mind to keep track of things like this, the Bears working on back-to-back shutouts, and the last time they accomplished it as a team, that wonderful year of 1985 when the Chicago Bears won the World Championship. They tossed back-to-back shutouts in the playoffs. And the interesting thing, of course, is that there's a man named Ryan with ties to both of these teams. Left Chicago, came to Philadelphia, where he was the head coach, and is now down in Houston. That one almost intercepted by Maurice Douglas.
And a member of that great 85 team and MVP of that Super Bowl, Richard Dent, has had a whale of a day today. 2.5 sacks, 4 hurries, 3 knockdowns, and an interception. And he had a pass defense as well.
3rd and 21. 4-man rush. Brister deep. Reggie Lawrence. Donnell Wolford. And it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down. The last time the Eagles were shut out was on a Monday night to the Washington Redskins in 1991. Hasn't been all that long ago.
Boy, Millard's had a rough day, and he's got a bad haircut to go with it.
You see, only a guy 6'3" who wears a Hall of Fame ring could say something like that.
I'm also in the press box, and he's on the field.
Terry Obie is back. Over-the-shoulder catch at the 8-yard line. And he's down at the 17. We've got 4:47 remaining in this ball game. Bob Slowick, the new defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears, and look what they've done. 26 to the Giants in losing. Only 10 to Minnesota in losing. They gave up 17 to Tampa Bay, then shut out Atlanta last week. And zilch for the Eagles today.
And they have not allowed a rushing touchdown now in 5 games. That's playing some pretty good defense. I'm not even sure that that great defense of 85 can match that record to start a season.
In the meantime, the offense, which had been hampered in previous weeks, 152 passing and 94 rushing today. Harbaugh, right side. Tom Waddle makes the catch, and this domination by Chicago of Philadelphia will continue as the Bears are en route to winning for the 24th time in this series, and they've only lost 4 times. Take a look at Dave Wanstead's Bears in the Central Division. Minnesota will be 3-2 apparently after today. They're leading 15-0. Detroit with a bye this week. They're 3-2. Chicago will be 3-2. Tampa and Green Bay won't. Out to the 25. Keith Millard, number 77, makes the tackle.
Yeah, the next opponent for Chicago will be Minnesota. So then they get Green Bay at Green Bay. So now they're into their division, and it promises to be a very interesting division for the whole year. But I think you got to say that Chicago is a real surprise at this point.
I know a guy named McMahon who plays for Minnesota now who can't wait for that Chicago. That's not him.
No,
that's not him. But look, somebody stole his number.
And his shades.
Shane Matthews, who has just signed this week as the third-string quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Got the shades, got the hat on backwards.
Almost like he went to a costume store and said, hey, give me one of those McMahon costumes, will you? I know Halloween's coming up. Well, you got to put your hat on backwards. You got to wear shades and wear number 9.
3:21 remaining in the ball game. Wonder if he asked for number 9.
Yeah, it was his college number, but that's really putting a lot of pressure on yourself going into a place and wearing a guy's number that made it rather famous. But actually, it's Billy Wade's number.
That's a really good catch. And it also shows your age.
1963 world champs, Verne.
I remember it.
You were there.
I was there. Trust me. Oh, dear. The Bud 1 airship. He's using a eye-in-the-sky camera to bring you scenic shots from more than 1,000 feet. I should hope so. we don't want them much lower than that.
Any closer.
Settle down, Gardocki. Settle down. That punt goes backwards inside the 49. Chris Gardocki's the only Chicago Bear who's not having a banner day, and he got a 50-yard bounce on a punt a while ago. Well, the Eagles, of course, fighting adversity and losing today for the first time this season. They have Randall Cunningham in Los Angeles. They've got Fred Barnett out. They've got Jeff Seidner out for the season. Now they've lost Ken Rose today. They do have Clyde Simmons back, but this is not at all what they thought would happen in this ball game. And they've got to go to New York next week. Brister right side. Catch at the 44-yard line by Reggie Lawrence.
And then after that Giant game, they're going to get a bye.
That's the Bears, of course, right there.
Then the Eagles have to play the Dallas Cowboys, who are just red hot and ripping the Indianapolis Colts today.
Brister. Victor Bailey drops it. Clyde Simmons, veteran defensive end. Here's the Eagles schedule. Giants, the bye, and then Dallas at home. And the schedule really gets tough as you get to the latter part of the season.
Well, the Eagles have the toughest schedule in the NFL. 7 of their last 10 opponents played in the playoffs last year.
Richie Kotite told us yesterday, I don't pay attention to the schedule, but I sure don't like those 3 away games at night in December. That pass incomplete for Reggie Lawrence. Lawrence, a practice squad member, just activated this week with Barnett and Seidner out. Here's a final. The Giants win it. They're 4-1, and they will be at home to Philadelphia next week. Dallas leading with 4:15 remaining, and Emmitt Smith over 100.
So by virtue of this game today, both races tighten up. The NFC East tightens up a little bit, and you can't get any tighter than the NFC Central is going to be after today.
Brister, incomplete.
Now, this is going to be one to forget for Bubby Brister.
Well, his mom and dad made the trip up here from Louisiana. His fiancee Bonnie is here.
But you see him saying, my fault, my fault. He realizes that he's had a rough day. And that's what his teammates talked to us a little bit about yesterday, that he's willing to shoulder the responsibility and take the blame. He's a tough guy, and he will bounce back.
Calvin Williams on the Eagle bench. And on downs, Jim Harbaugh and the Bears take over with 2:35 remaining. It was 17-0 at the half, and that's where we have stayed.
And if you're the Bears, you got to be real happy with the way their offensive line has played today. Harbaugh's only gone down one time to a sack. Or you look at the other side of the ball, and that's only 5 sacks for the Eagles in 5 games. Very, very unusual for this type of football team.
Time has been called now. And the 17-0 score with 2:23 to go. The plain fact is women are buying guns like they've never bought them before. Sales of the Smith & Wesson ladies. Oh, I should start this over again. Anyway, the plain fact is women are buying guns like they've never bought them before. Sales of the Smith & Wesson ladies have doubled. Tonight on 60 Minutes, that's what I was trying to say. Then it's Game 4 of the National League Championship Series, live from the Chop Shop in Atlanta.
So we got 60 Minutes and then baseball.
I think that's it. I believe that's correct.
Talk about murdering a promo.
Yes, he did. Second down and 4. Bobby Rister for the day, 16 of 30, 144, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, 7 sacks. And we're working our way toward the 2-minute warning. We've reached it. 2 minutes remaining. 17-zip. Chicago leads.
Hey, early again, huh, Frank?
I don't say this to many people. But what we do, the job we do,
Okay, guys, listen up.
is the most important job I can think of.
You've got a flight control check. Lewis and Randolph.
I mean, there's no such thing as a B-plus mechanic on this airline.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Everybody knows their job. Everybody's responsible. Anybody, right down to the most junior mechanic, can keep an airplane in this hangar if there's the slightest hint of a problem. You might think, doing a job like this, day in, day out, it'd become routine. You know, just turning wrenches. But every now and then, I just go up and take a walk through the terminal. And right there, right in front of you, you see what's important. Buttery soft leather seats, designed to withstand 30-mile-an-hour rear impacts. An adjustable steering wheel wrapped in leather, mounted on an energy-absorbing column. And exotic wood trim, layered with aluminum to prevent splintering. Unlike some other cars, at Mercedes-Benz, luxury is more than a mere facade.
Interesting.
Harbaugh's been getting hammered pretty good by the Chicago press this year. This is a great day for Jim. 200 yards in total offense. And the most impressive play may have been his shortest play, that 1-yard run where he had to take on a couple of Eagles at the goal line to get in the end zone. Pretty good afternoon for Harbaugh.
Knew if he went for the touchdown, he was going to get hammered. He went, and he did. And we've got 2 minutes remaining, 17-0. Chicago leads. Seth Joyner bounces across the line.
Prior to the snap, number 62 of the offense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Dale Hamer. There's Mark Bortz, number 62. Ian Lewinberg and Fontenot, Verne Smith, and John Wojciechowski are still there. Wojo is one of the players who played in the strike game here in 1987. The last time the Bears played at the Vet. There's John Wojciechowski. Chicago won that one 35-3. Anderson out to the 45-yard line.
And there are about as many people left in the stands right now as there was that afternoon. Not a real good idea to play a scab game here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, they announced the crowd, I think, at 4,000 that day. It wasn't many. 4th and a bunch, and Chris Gardocki is back to punt. Coming up, Chicago at Toronto. What a week in Chicago in sports news. I can't recall a week dominated by the news out of one city quite like what happened in Chicago this week. Beginning, of course, with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I heard they fired a manager, too.
And with a winning record, I heard.
Yeah. Tough town.
Nice to be a sports talk show host in town. Didn't have to look for topics.
Flip. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Bye week for the Bears next week. And oh, will they savor this one. They come to Philadelphia, take on the undefeated Eagles, and they've blanked them 17-0 so far. Gardocki straight up and straight down, and Sikahema ignores Bob Christian and runs up to make the fair catch at 36. Well, let's go back and take a look at Jim Harbaugh and Curtis Conway hooking up for the TD.
Well, this is the long-awaited big play for the Bears. They got it in the first quarter. Nice little push-off there. Again there by Conway. Then he reaches out and makes a fantastic catch. But this was a real gutty play by Harbaugh. As he comes out, he sees the corner of the end zone, and he also sees a lot of green helmets coming his way. One of them's Joyner. The other one's Byron Evans. But he gets in for the score and set the Bears on their way to this shutout.
1:07 remaining in regulation. Here's Brister. Here comes Richard Dent. Brister throws it deep for Bailey. And Victor Bailey has it at the 6. Sean Gale and Mark Carrier back in the area.
It's not over yet, Verne. At least the shutout's not over yet.
I thought you might say.
He's got no timeouts, so he's backed up against it.
And that will stop the clock with 27 seconds remaining. Huge pass play by Brister to Bailey. 58 yards. And that gives the Eagles now a 2nd down and goal from the 7.
You know, Brister had such a great performance last week against the Jets when he had to just come in cold and perform. This week he's had all week to prepare for this one. And it's a little bit different situation being a starter than it is being a relief man. But he gets it paid off with a touchdown to Calvin Williams. That'll make him feel just a little bit better about his afternoon.
And there go the back-to-back shutouts by the Chicago defense. The Eagles avoid the shutout. They get on the boards. And it doesn't increase the smile on Richie Kotite's countenance. Bubby Brister, Calvin Williams. And it comes with 23 seconds remaining in the game. The extra point is blocked. And that provides an almost perfect exclamation point to the way things have gone for the Eagles today. There's Zeke Bratkowski, Bill Muir, offensive coaches, offensive line coach and coordinator respectively.
They all got that look on the sidelines of what else could go wrong, or what the heck happened today. They ran into a pretty good team. The Chicago Bears, a lot better than a lot of people give them credit for.
An improving team.
Especially that defense was outstanding, but that offense today, they accomplished exactly what they set out to do. Make the big play. With Conway involved, tragic thing, though, for the Bears is the loss of Wendell Davis.
And in case you did join us late in the ball game, Wendell Davis went out with what we were told was damage to both knees. That's all the information we were given. Thus all the information we can pass on. Both knees damaged. Taken to the locker room in the first half.
That's Larry Pasquale, special teams coach of the Eagles. And you know one thing, Eagles have to onside kick here. They got no other choice with just 23 seconds to go. You see Barr is already lining it up.
And it's kicked by Jeff Feagles. And the fair catch taken by John Mangum of the Chicago Bears. There's a little variation on a theme.
A little sleight of hand there, but that's the first time Feagles has ever been on the kickoff team. I guarantee you that. Bears were not fooled. Nice catch by Mangum.
You're suggesting Feagles was not there for his tackling ability?
I think he's probably never been at that L1 position before. I like Barr's move, though, of lining it up and, you know, almost like he was lining up a 30-foot putt or something.
Matt Barr, who has a homecoming of sorts next week. Look at this. Feagles is laughing.
Kickers have no idea what the score is anyway.
18 seconds to go. And that'll be the final play of the ball game. So Dave Wanstead's Chicago Bears go to 3-2. And Richie Kotite's team loses at home for the first time in the last 12 games. They also see an 8-game regular season winning streak come to a close. Clyde Simmons, injured in the first half, though, did come back in the game. So for Dan Fouts, I'm Verne Lundquist saying so long from Philadelphia, where our final score was 17-6 Chicago.